What's going on, everybody? It is Mike from Seattle Sports Diaries. We are welcoming you to a brand spanking new podcast that has been basically a year in the making, and now we are officially getting it off the ground. Uh, of course, I have a guest with me. It is Michaela Mattis. Did I pronounce that last name correctly?
Mattis. You're close. It's Mattis.
Mattis. Oh my God, you were buffering a little bit there.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, still buffering. Crap. So today we are going to be watching. As you can see from the screen, we are going to be watching Titanic. We are going to be commenting on it. And if you guys want to join us, go ahead and just put in your DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and go ahead. And as soon as we say 3, 2, 1, we will start the play. So, Michaela, get ready to play in 3, 2, 1. And as the movie just starts, the whole Paramount thing just rolls in.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, when the first time I ever saw this movie, I was actually 8 years old at the time. My mom took me to go watch the movie. I actually did not make it the whole way through. I made it about 2 hours in.
I'm not surprised. It's a long movie, but it's like I'm engaged the whole time. I feel
It
like
is,
every part of the movie is important.
so this opening shot right here, I loved. I absolutely fucking love this one because it kind of paid homage to there's a ton of shots in here that paid homage to an artist named Ken Marshall. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I'm not.
So Ken Marshall, he does a lot of incredible paintings of Titanic, Britannic, Olympic, all of the old ships back in the early 1900s. And that kind of paid homage to not just one of his paintings, but also a real life photo of the Titanic, I think the day before
Mm-hmm.
of the sinking.
Wow.
So I love that opening, and of course, we're gonna see that in about 30 minutes. And
Oh
this
yeah.
shot right here, it was an interesting take. What you see right now, it's fog machines. It is a complete fog machine, and submarines that were actually on strings that they lowered into it. So they kind of
Oh, interesting. You know a lot of the background behind the making
I
of
do
this
know a lot of
movie.
background about this. I mean,
Okay.
you're gonna learn a lot about this
Yeah, I've
fucking
done
movie
lots
that
of
you have no idea.
documentaries, not necessarily on the movie itself, but on the Titanic.
I have no idea how they did that shot, by the way. So there's something I don't know about this movie.
Okay.
And here we go. There it is. There's the great ship
Yep.
with all of its rusticles. And now, first of all, I hated that right there where Bill Paxton, he looks out the window. First of all, there would not be that much fucking light 2.5 miles below the earth.
No, underneath the water, yeah.
This shot right here, right there, where you see the submarine coming up right there.
Yep.
That's the real Titanic. They are
Right.
two and a half.
There's
They are two. They are right, and right there. That shot is 2.5 miles down. They
yeah,
did.
that they can't make that up. That is the
No,
real
no, no,
thing.
no.
Yeah.
They filmed about I think between 5 and 10 minutes worth of movie footage at the Titanic, which was
Mhm.
absolutely impressive. So, and I think it cost them over $10 million to actually do that, which is incredible at the time.
It paid
So,
off, didn't it?
I mean, it really did. I
It
mean,
paid off.
and then there's Bill Paxton with his horrible fucking pirate earring. I can't get it.
Yes.
I could never get over that stupid pirate earring.
You know, I had a crush on him growing up, though, when I'd watch this, which is funny because obviously that is not my vibe these days. But no, I kind of crushed on that guy a little bit.
I'm not sure who that guy was, by the way. I need to pull up the IBM
Hmm.
on Titanic, but the guy who basically played Paxton's, what
He
is it like?
yeah, he starts asking Rose to like remember and talking to her about all the things that they've
Yeah.
uncovered. Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
So um one So this shot right here was that shot right there was actually interesting. So I know a lot about this because I looked up a lot of the old stuff, or basically watched behind the scenes and everything. But so that shot that you saw of the ship, that was actually a shot that they made a model of the wreck, and what they did was they put it upside down. And they filmed the whole thing. They basically filmed it upside down and just turned it over. They did a really interesting shot at the beginning of the movie in South when they were doing it in Southampton. I'll get to that in a little bit, but no, it's amazing of how just how much work went into this film. I still think it's the greatest movie that's ever been made. I really do.
It's a really well done movie. The casting, the costumes, for the time it was made too, with what they're able to do with this movie.
It's absolutely incredible. It really is.
I love it when they start going in with the robot and they're, checking out what's going on inside of the wreck ship.
And the footage of when they're actually inside the ship, they actually waited until they were done filming the whole movie with the interior. And what they did was they took those interior rooms, they actually sunk them. And that's and basically you're seeing that those whole sets just underwater, and they've got scuba divers, of course, with the cameras there.
Yeah.
And for people wondering, this was made in 1997. So, right. Oh, by the way, this shot right here, that's bullshit right there. That little glass chandelier, that's complete bullshit. Because, for one thing, I don't think that thing would have survived. There was one glass chandelier that did survive.
Yes.
When the ship landed on the ocean. I don't know if you're familiar with watching any of the National Geographic documentaries, but Robert Ballard, yeah, they did find one little. That is creepy as fuck.
The baby.
I'm no, that little doll face is absolutely
the
creepy.
Baby doll face.
That is just, it's so fucking creepy.
It's so creepy. It's like, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you been to Vegas and experienced the actual like gone and seen the sides of the ship and gone?
I have not. Do they have a Titanic? Do they
have
a Titanic thing?
Or no, I've been 3 times. Yeah, they have a Titanic exhibit in the Luxor, I believe.
Oh, now I got to get to Vegas and actually.
And it's like real life artifacts. I mean, and they give you a card when you walk in, and you at the end you have to look on the wall to see if you survived the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, I've actually been to that. I've been to that exhibit or exhibition before. I went once at the Pacific Science Center and once in Victoria, Canada. First of all, Nicholas Cascone. That's the guy's name who plays him. And this was really the only major motion picture that he really did that everybody like actually knows him from.
Right.
that little
but look at him. He's just like having a ball with going in there and.
I fucking hate that joke. Oops, somebody left their water running. Such a lame ass joke.
It's such a good dad joke.
It kind of is.
It's such a good dad joke.
I like how it says Snoop Vision, by the way. So wait a minute. When it says Snoop Vision, does that mean he's high as fuck?
I mean, he's acting like it a little bit. His joke would lead you to believe that that's the case too.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet you that
someone left the water on.
Absolutely. Pretty much. It's just incredible of how technology was back then. This is actual technology back in the 90s, and it was so technologically advanced. And now this is the only thing about the movie that I want to know how they did. How did they get I want to say possible 100-pound safe, successfully remove it from the wreck without damaging the ship? I want to know that.
That's why they didn't show it in the movie.
Because
there's a reason. Because it would not.
No, they couldn't do it. They would not be able to do that.
You have to realize that I'm somebody that will 100% point out what's not realistic in a movie, I'm
Oh
that
no.
person. I'm gonna be like, that guy would have died, or like,
Okay,
there's no
Michaela,
way they would have
I'm
survived.
with you 100%. I do that same. I would do that same shit. I've
People are
actually
like, we
annoyed.
know,
I've
but
just
it's a movie, and I'm like, yeah, just like my video games. I've got shot 10 times, and my guy's still somehow like running around. He would have been dead. It's
you
not
better keep that.
realistic.
You better keep that money. By the way, that's worth a fortune now with inflation.
Hmm.
I'm willing to bet with inflation now it's worth oh God knows how much.
A lot of money. A lot. A lot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Not only that, but like with the history of where it would have come from, like just would add on to it.
And of course, you
He's
know
like, "Oh
they.
no, it's not in there. This is not
It's not.
payday."
I love how he's his partner and he's just like, yeah, well, we didn't get it, but who cares? He's basically poking fun of him. I like that. That's the
For
only thing
sure.
I like about that character. And then of course there's that guy back there with the sunscreen on his nose.
Yes.
They're out in the middle of the Atlantic. Oh, here comes some boobs.
I think that was the first time I ever saw like boobs in my life.
That
But
was
it was pretty young when I watched this movie.
I'm not even
It's
gonna
my origin story. It's where I became gay probably. I was just like, "Oh, boobs." And it's Kate Winslet's.
no joke. When I first saw this, my mom was just like, I even heard her. She's like, "Oh fuck me." That's exactly what she wasn't expecting.
Cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. You're too young to see this. It's just like, well,
And there it
that was
is.
a beautiful drawing. I have to give credit. Like it's a
Now
beautiful drawing.
here it is. Here is the biggest little detail that you and I don't think anybody knows. James Cameron drew that himself.
Oh, I did know that because when they're drawing it in the scene later in the movie, it's actually James Cameron's hands and not
Yeah,
Leo's.
you can tell it's James Cameron's hand because of how
They're older.
decrepit.
Yeah. Did you just say decrepit?
I did say decrepit.
How decrepit they.
Gloria Stewart, may she rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
That old broad died at 100 years old. She's playing a 100-year-old woman, and she was 20 year. She was in her. She was in her. I think she was 87.
Mm-hmm.
She was 87 when she did that. First of all, she looks fantastic to be 87.
Yeah.
I would not. I would think that she was still in her 60s at this point.
Dang, what kind of people in your who do you know in their 60s that looks like that?
Oh, my grandparents, they're in their 70s. They still look like they're in their 50s.
Yeah, exactly. She looks like she's 87, man. She looks 87. But she looks good.
I love that line. I love that line. It wasn't funny when Bill Paxton said it, but it's funny when old Rose says it. I'll be goddamned.
I'll be goddamned.
I guess the Alzheimer's just didn't work on that memory.
No.
I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell just for that joke.
You know what? I'm not even going to comment on it, so I don't have to go there. Just gonna leave that on you. You said it all. You're going to want to take this call.
I'm not accepting the charges, by the way, if you called collect. Because back in the 90s, there was a thing called
roaming charges? God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I couldn't even think of that. And her smile, like she's just like, that's me.
That's me.
Could you imagine of just like I could only imagine of just how much money it really did cost to not just fly her out there. First of all, that T-shirt that he's wearing, have a nice day with the bullet hole right
through the.
It took me until I was 25 to realize that wasn't a stain on his.
Can I be honest? Shirt. I think I just realized that wasn't a stain on his shirt. But you just pointed out. I'm like, that's 100%. That's
right.
That's a bullet through his head. That's what that is. I thought it was totally ketchup.
See, I kind
of makes sense for his character. I just wouldn't be surprised if he had a hot dog and he spilled it on his shirt.
Well, because he's a fat fuck. I mean, would anybody be surprised if he dripped something on the shirt?
I can't believe I never noticed that before.
I never see like. Well, it's actually I think it's a little easy to miss. I think it might be a little
Yeah,
bit easy to miss.
maybe in the story, like there's things that when you've seen a movie so many times, you start paying attention to a lot of the smaller details because you've already the story so well. So those are things that you
Jesus.
capture way later. Look at all that.
She really doesn't travel light.
That's about how I'm gonna pack for Disneyland next week. It's gonna look exactly like that.
I love how she's got the little dog just wrapped up in the
Winter
jacket.
jacket. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey,
Susie
girl."
so Susie Amos plays
Your
her
granddaughter.
granddaughter, and she's been in so many movies. She's been in a lot of movies. I can't really think of any other movies, but well, actually, she was in Twister.
Yeah, she was.
She also played in Miami Vice one point. Right there, she had the little. She's like, and she's like, there's the Alzheimer's right there. I can't remember, just me being up on deck.
At least she remembers her drawing.
Yeah, right.
It's been. I'm just saying. She's like, I wish I looked like that.
No joke. So the first thing that I said to my mom, like the day after I watched Titanic, I said, "Can I have Jack's hair? Is it just
I
me or
mean, it's iconic.
well, yeah, his hairstyle back in the '90s was just like that. I think that's how a lot of teenage.
Leo's hairstyle in this movie is like Rachel Green or Jennifer Aniston style in Friends, and how it was just like worn
Okay,
by
yeah,
everybody. Like
yes.
that's Leo's for the men. Jennifer Aniston's hairstyle was for the ladies.
I love that line too. Wasn't I a dish? She's looking at herself naked and she's telling her granddaughter she was a dish. Like, absolutely no chill whatsoever.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if you know the truth,
Well,
you
yeah, I
might as
mean,
well
like,
say it. Own it.
Yeah, own
Own
it.
it.
Even if you're 100 years old, I mean, still own it. Oh, you think? And it shows what you know.
She's like, uh-huh. Her eye, she's like,
Yeah,
that's what
she's
you
like,
want.
yeah, she's basically saying, I kind of have something in my pocket I'd like to show you, but not until I tell you my story.
Yeah, let me tell you my long 3-hour story, and then I'm gonna toss that shit. Go find it.
Yeah, go find it. I'm willing to bet that the 2.5 mile drop that diamond took, it probably carried it off about.
Who knows? Because it's so light. Like, well, I'm sure it's
there would be no
compared to
chance
the water.
There would be no chance in hell in finding it.
No.
There was an alternate ending to Titanic that I saw 10 years ago, and it was originally supposed to be the end to, like, not the ending that we're gonna see, but it was supposed to be just like the ending to the story, and then they pan to Rose in her bed and when she dies or whatever. But I actually kind of like the original. I like this ending better because in the alternate version, they actually see her they think she's about to jump off the ship, and then they see that she has a diamond, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a gigantic.
It's a big ass sticking up in there.
That's the hell. Kim Kardashian's ass doesn't weigh that much.
Boom. Right in half.
I love how he's just doing this whole CSI bullshit.
You know what though? He's the most entertaining guy to explain what happened with this.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else could have explained it a lot
The
better.
documentaries though are now actually like combating how it actually sank and when it actually split apart. But it's interesting.
So, The year before this movie was made, there was actually a miniseries, a TV miniseries called Titanic. I think it was a 4-part miniseries, and it was the first Titanic either movie or TV show to actually show the ship splitting apart. But you know, there's been 2 other Titanic movies that have come out in English. There was actually one in 1943. It was it's known as the Nazi propaganda one, which I will never watch for obvious reasons.
Right.
I'm not gonna watch that type of movie, even though it's Titanic. But so Titanic in 1953, and then A Night to Remember, I think in 1958, and they all showed the ship just sinking in one. And but oh, man, I just can't, like, looking at her just reminiscing. It's PTSD right there. That's PTSD right there. And
Yep.
and people think that, oh, you can't get PTSD unless you're in the military. No, if you survive something like that, you're gonna have some serious PTSD. Because I mean, I can only imagine just what the survivors must have actually gone through after that. Because it could have
Yeah, the survivor's guilt, just like you literally saw hundreds. I mean, their rowboats went through just so many bodies in the water, you know.
Yeah,
There wasn't enough
and think
lifeboats,
about
so
this, the greatest GIF in the world.
yes, it's been 84 years.
Since the Seahawks won a Super Bowl.
That's what it's felt like, okay? But it's not been that long. It hasn't even been that long.
Okay, do you want to know what it's really been 84 years since the
What?
Mariners made the playoffs? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What? Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
and here comes my God, I love this transition.
And it really. Here we go.
See, right there, that transition, every time I watch it, gives me goosebumps, because what this movie did, it didn't defy all odds for Hollywood. It made that ship come to life again.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's the interesting thing. What you're seeing right now is a flipped scene. Everything that you see, if you actually watch the special features, all of those letters and that ship right there is facing in the opposite direction. The letters are backwards because they only had a budget to I guess build one side, or face the Titanic in one direction. So they had to flip it, and I love that Hollywood magic. That is just an amazing.
It's so good. I don't know how people know how to do things sometimes. I'm just like,
they'd
being
rather
so
use
amateur at
CGI.
things sometimes. I see what can be done, and I'm like, how do people learn how to do that? Like, it's just.
Yeah. So here we are. Several of the main characters. We have Frances Fisher, who plays Ruth's mother. Yep. I love her, by the way. She's a brilliant actress. She's one of the most brilliant actresses I've ever seen on film. Billy Zane, as we all know from Sniper. Billy Zane also was in the first Back to the Future movie, by the way.
Hold on, don't tell me. Who was Billy Zane in Back to the Future?
He was one of Biff's little stooges.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, little.
Now I'm gonna have to pay attention to that, because I have seen that movie. I can't tell you how many times, and I've never realized that Billy Zane was in it.
She's worried about her freaking coat. And also, this is another thing that this movie also shows is the diversity back then. And it wasn't. It had nothing to do with race, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. But what it had to do was, you're either a first-class passenger, you're a second-class passenger, or you are a peasant in third class. And the way people were treated for being a third-class passenger, to me, is disgusting.
Yeah.
And it was a big reason.
It's a huge socioeconomic status situation and power, right? And so
exactly,
it really, and let's be honest. I mean, we still see that. We see it play out with
We
what
do.
people
We
have
do.
access
I
to and
mean,
how people are treated. It's just it's a lot easier to quote like I guess hide, I guess that's how it's done, but you know, this is a the thing I like about this movie is it's very clear that this is how it was. You know, like
yeah. And
it
because James Cameron wanted to go for historical accuracy, and he did a really good job. By the way, the guy who plays Fabrizio, Danny Nucci, another good actor. Not really. He's actually from Austria, so for him to do sort of Italian type of accent, I think that's what it. Because I think Fabrizio is an Italian name.
it sounds Italian.
It does sound Italian.
Fabrizio.
Fabrizio.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I just love how like he always copies. He always copies what Jack says.
Olaf. Olaf. I'm sorry. The first
Yeah, his name was Olaf.
You just think about it and like now I'm just thinking about Frozen. Anyways, wrong movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I love this part. And everybody in the bar just looked around like,
yes.
Really? They won the tickets?
He's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and he
Nope, he's gonna kick he's gonna kick his friends out for getting the tickets. But hey, guess what? Here in about 5 days, he's gonna be like, okay, I'm glad we lost the tickets.
For real. It's kind of sad, but it's true.
It's a little
You
bit
never
sad, but it's
know. I think about that in life. It's just like, you know, had I left 10 minutes earlier, what?
Did that guy say that the ship's leaving in 5 minutes? No fucking way that they can get down there and actually get on the ship in 5 minutes.
You know, hey, it looks like they got some endurance.
Well, wouldn't you? You got a free ride going back home.
If I knew it was sinking, I wouldn't.
By the way, think about this. Back in the 1910s, this was how to travel. This was the only way that if you wanted to go across the Atlantic, this was the only way to travel. I mean, they still do cross Atlantic trips. I think the Queen Mary 2. I think she does 5 cross Atlantic trips. And
I would be so sketched out about that. Have you heard about the Titanic too? That like
it's not happening. It's not happening. I was gonna say,
but I'm also like that. Just sounds like some like as much as I would love quote the experience, I wouldn't love the experience of the juju and then having it go down and
yeah,
like don't take me on the same route. Like there's
I love what he just said. He's like, you know somebody? He's like, of course not. That's not the point. By the way, that shot that here it is. There's that shot right there. First of all, all Titanic is doing is saying, fuck your CGI, we're better.
I agree. Like there are movies in the late 90s or even just in the 90s in general where they are better than like you can just it feels so much more realistic than the CGI, even though CGI
and look at this shot right here. Now you can actually tell that this is CGI, but here's the difference between this CGI and CGI now. This looks so realistic.
Mm-hmm.
That looks so more realistic than anything that can be put out there.
Yeah.
And that was another thing about Titanic back then is everybody was just blown away by the special effects and all the CGI that they did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just incredible. Now, another thing about Titanic was third class, I think had, what was it? I know this one. 24 different nationalities in third class. 24 different nationalities were in third class. And I think that there were four Chinese passengers. One actually survived, which was actually a deleted scene here in Titanic. They didn't show it, but yeah, I think they're also making a documentary about that, about the 4 Chinese passengers on Titanic, which I will watch. I want to learn. I love learning about that. But you know, by the way, the Lovejoy. First of all, David Warner. The first time I ever saw David Warner in a movie, you're gonna laugh when you hear this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. played the professor. He played that
Uh-huh.
professor in the Ninja Turtles too. It shows what you know. Picasso turned out to be a great artist.
Right.
Well, of course, he lost his mind, cut his ear off, and then
He is such
oh,
a good.
here's another Ken Marshall painting right here. If you look this up, Ken Marshall painting, that was actually his painting right there, turned onto the Hollywood screen. Kathy Bates. Oh my God.
I love me some Kathy Bates.
She is a national
Her in
treasure.
this, she is, and in this movie, God, she just gave me the relief I needed for the moments where I just could not stand the pompous, like elitist vibe. She just comes in and just like,
Well, that was Molly Brown. That
yeah,
she was basically your no bullshit type of rich person. She didn't care if you were third class or second class. She treated everybody with respect.
mm-hmm.
Which I really wish more people would do. Like, doesn't matter who you are, treat everybody with freaking respect.
Yep. Here we go.
Yep. So, this shot right here, everything you can tell is computer. Is most of it is green screen.
It looks so good though.
It does. It really does. I mean, it's absolutely incredible of how they were able to do this.
You want to know who took away movie magic for me?
Okay, I'm listening.
Kate, my wife.
Oh,
I love her to pieces, but she's like, oh, so if you look here and here, you can tell that blah blah, like it's the green screen. Or the one that it was for me was the fake snow in Hallmark movie. She goes, fake snow, and I'm like, can you stop ruining the movie? Like that's real snow. But like, no, this
oh
movie
God,
right
I love
here,
that.
like they
I love
did.
that shot right there.
Oh yeah.
Now, the most famous line in Titanic is about to come up here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right here, you can actually tell like they're over a green screen. You obviously can tell.
Yeah.
I can, but it's still movie magic that at its best when it came to the 90s. And oh my God, oh my God, every time I see a shot like that where it just shows off Titanic like that,
the whole ship. Yeah.
I can't get enough of it because it's just magical of how movie magic was back then. And
When
again,
you're working also with water, like they're working with big bodies of water and how the ship is cutting through that water, like making that look as realistic as they did.
oh my God, yes.
They did such a good job. I mean, they're not they put effort into making that happen. Like, and then of course with the dolphins.
Oh yeah. So what they did was this is actually footage that they were so they had to take that part right there and actually CGI in it. But these shots where you see the dolphins right here, what they did was it was actual footage that they took. Now that looks so real. That right there, like that is not CGI to me. That was not CGI to me. So what they did with the dolphins, though, they were actually headed out to sea in the Atlantic. And I guess one of the researchers said, hey, look, we have some dolphins out here. And James Cameron was like, oh, let's film them real quickly. And here it comes, the most improvised line in Hollywood.
Right there.
Yep. And James Cameron, he was actually pissed off at Leo right there. Because he didn't want him to improvise the line. He did not want any improvised lines. But he was.
And for those that want to know what line that was, it was, I'm the king of the world.
And first of all, the $1 million shot. This CGI shot alone
over the top of the
cost $1 million. And I think it's the most brilliant shot in the whole movie because it shows
how massive
and how elegant that ship was.
Yeah.
And another thing about Titanic was this guy right here. I've seen him, Jonathan Hyde. Jonathan Hyde. He has been in so many movies. Anaconda, Jumanji. He's a brilliant British actor. He's a brilliant British actor. Or actually, he's from Australia, actually. I forgot he's from Australia. He also played in The Mummy. I forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah, he played the Mummy. Brendan Fraser. Mm-hmm.
I like that part right there. I don't like that road. She just blows smoke in her face.
Yes, it's just the big, like, just a middle finger. Just you can feel for her though. Like
That smile right there is just her saying "fuck you."
Yes. I'm glad you know what that smile looks like, because sometimes women will give it and people don't understand, but it is 100% the "fuck you" moment.
So Victor Garber played Thomas Andrews, and I don't.
I love him.
So yes,
He's in
Oh God,
Alias,
I love
which
this
is a
part right
great
here.
show. As a psychology major, it is actually one of my, like, favorite lines in this movie.
She's measuring dicks because of it, and you can tell the dude. He's like, "What did you just say?"
Yep.
Oh, get bent. Jesus,
Who
I
is he?
love
Is
it.
he a passenger? No, you dumb fuck. And that's such a I love this,
And again,
the
there's
drawing
James
and
Cameron
everything.
again. He's
Yep.
doing more drawings. Right here, this part in the movie to me is there's dogs coming out to the poop deck to take a shit.
Mhm. I feel like that would be who you would be if you were any character in this in this movie. I feel like that's you.
I take that as a personal compliment. I love
You
that.
should. No, I just feel like that would be who you would be.
Oh, boy meets girl, or
Mm.
boy creepily stares at stares at the girl.
Stares at woman. Basically, dude, she's so out of your league.
Right there, I mean, just him looking at her, I honestly just
I feel like he's still yeah, she's like, "What the."
she's like, "Can you please stop staring at me?" Oh God, fuck you, Cal. Such an
Grabbing her arm like that. He's
he's
so
such an
awful.
egotistical. Now, I will admit, I have actually done that before in a relationship. It was wrong of me. I will say that, but even I know. But he's such an egotistical ass.
Mhm.
Now, another thing about this movie. So, actually, let me finish what I was saying. That part where he was just staring up at her, honestly, like right there, I think is the pinnacle of how good of an actor Leonardo DiCaprio really is. Like you can
You feel
everything
it.
that he does, he puts every little bit of emotion into it, and it's amazing.
And her acting in this moment, though, like, it's not like, I don't feel
I
like this is a cheesy Kristen Stewart moment of, "I'm having a mental health crisis and I don't wanna, like, live anymore." Like, I'm bought into this
no,
acting
but
by
well, I
Kate
mean,
Winslet
because
right
I
here.
mean, she's trapped in a loveless relationship, and I mean,
Well, and an abusive. It's
well, yeah.
emotionally and what apparently is to be physical in some way, abusive relationship. And she's
Hey, I
trapped,
saw you earlier today.
and he's like,
Oh man,
and who
check out that
better
app.
than having Jack there to, like, talk her down, just being, like, a human
Exactly.
being,
So
not
there was a.
making
Go ahead.
no, just not making a big like, just being a human being that she needed to have, like, a real
Yeah.
connection with. Couldn't be
So
anybody better.
there was a deleted scene that. So there's a lot of deleted scenes that I think that should have been in the movie.
We can understand why they couldn't, like, it's just like, how do you kn like, it's already a 3-hour movie, 3-hour and 15-minute movie. It's just like, you gotta cut something at some
Yeah,
point.
but the deleted scene that I was talking about was in the scene where she closes her eyes. She went back to her room. She's asking for the maid, and she just starts going nuts because she's trying to get her dress off, and it
Yeah.
was the eventual spiral downward.
Mhm. Was it before this scene that it would have taken
It was
place?
it was before this scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just getting anxiety just watching
Just,
that.
like, the feeling of being suffocated and needing to get
Yeah.
out of it, like, I can only imagine.
Now, for her to be in front of a green screen, I mean, it's just impressive of just how real everything does look.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, that
And
I
thinking
just
about
noted
it being done in '97, like, that's important to note with how well this is done.
exactly.
He's like, "I'm just gonna toss this, don't mind me."
Boss, that's such a boss line. No, you won't.
No, you won't. And if to be honest, I'm such a competitor, like, if somebody said, "No, you won't," I'd be like, "Fuck you, watch."
Oh yeah, yeah. So you're hanging off the edge of the ship, and someone says, "No, you won't." Fucking watch
Fuck
me.
you. Right. I did a TikTok filter today, and it said my toxic trait was being too competitive, so, that probably falls within this.
So, so real quickly, the only I'm noticing two things about the costumes. First of all, that dress that Kate Winslet is wearing is absolutely just flawless.
Beautiful, yeah.
But I noticed that Leo's wearing corduroy pants. Like, I mean, I get that it was probably the style back then, but
Oh,
still
for
corduroy
sure.
corduroy pants. Good lord. The most random question to ever ask someone who's committing
Ever been
trying to commit
ever been to
suicide.
Wisconsin? She's like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah, yeah. You ever been to Wisconsin? You know, we can go to a Packer game. No, I'm a Seahawks fan. Fuck you.
Right.
Okay, now right there, I'm actually with Rose right there, just because he automatically assumed.
He's mansplaining.
Oh, yeah, he's mansplaining.
Thought you were a indoor girl.
What is it like? What does that even mean?
Also, like, wouldn't you assume what ice fishing is based off of the context that it provides
Yeah,
you?
I'm pretty sure. Like even a stupid person would know what ice fishing is. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
Him just explaining everything,
Like,
and
what you would feel in that moment, like,
oh
I
man.
can envision, yeah, having never actually been
So
in that situation.
I did the polar challenge a couple of years
Oh,
ago,
yeah?
and the water, I got a reading off of it, and it was 28 degrees. And when I actually jumped in the water, I thought my whole fucking body was dead. When I even got out of the water, I could barely breathe.
See, I don't that I haven't done that because I'm like, "How is that good for you?"
It's actually good for your heart. I love that line, by the
It's
way.
just it, like, it restarts your heart.
Yeah, I love that line that he says. He's like, "With all due respect, miss, I'm not the one hanging off the back of the ship." He's like poking fun of her. She's well, but she deserves it. She's like, "You're crazy," and I'm like, "You're the one hanging off the ship, lady."
Right? And there's the moment.
Yep.
Seeing his little smirk right there, if I were her, I'd be like, "Okay, just pull me over."
I have to get you to write that one down. Oh, this part right here when I was in the theaters, that scared the shit out of me right there.
Boom.
That really did scare the shit out of me as a kid. I was like,
Yes.
I actually had my eyes over or my hands over my eyes. I was like scared.
Did you anticipate that happening when they
I
showed
didn't
her
I
foot?
didn't I didn't think that I really didn't think that would happen at that point.
And
He's
then
helping you for God's sakes. You're the one that needs to pull yourself up.
he's so patient with her, like I said, it
Really?
couldn't have been a
Yeah.
better person, like, he's just being like, "Okay, this is what I need you to do."
You
Good
know,
god.
if you think about this, Jack should have just let her jump off because maybe he would have had a better chance at surviving.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, this is nothing. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like.
She's just trembling and shaking and laying on the
Well,
floor
I
like,
mean, wouldn't you?
well, yeah, but, like,
And I love how he just backed up and he just put his hands in his pockets. And this is where, God, I hate this part. Yeah, that's exactly how the rich. That's exactly how they treated him back then, and
oh, for sure.
it's just it. Like I get it. I get it. It was back then, but for God's sakes, they're people too.
Yeah, I was looking at that,
Yeah, that little
um
smirk that she had. And Jack's like, can you please not have any holes in your story? I'm
Yeah.
here in handcuffs, bitch. He's just
And he's like, "Oh, good God."
his facial expressions just make it. Oh God, and there's some. Well, that was how it was back then. But that misogynistic attitude.
Mhm.
He looks like a turkey. He looks at him. And he's like, what I do?
He's like, "Something for the boy."
And think about this: $20 back then in American. Absolutely, you take inflation. Just think of how much money that was really back then.
She was
That
so
was
offended. She's like, "Only 20."
well. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, he just
So
saved.
instead, he invites him to dinner where he's not even gonna feel like he belongs at the table.
Exactly.
But I love that he still took him up on it because
And right there is a shit eating grin that he has. God, I don't think I really don't think they could have picked a better
a
actor to
better
actually
person.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing: Billy Zane, he's a wonderful actor. He's a wonderful person, and he says that that he didn't really. He even said he did not want to play that role
No, he didn't.
because he was because he's such a good person,
Yeah.
and he just didn't want to treat anybody like that.
But he did such a good job. Like
Oh my
he
God, he really did, and it does not make me hate Billy Zane. It just makes me hate the character.
right.
By the way, I'm actually looking at Francis Fisher's um IBM or IMBD
Yeah.
uh profile picture. She kind of looks like Reba. She almost looks a little bit like Reba McEntire.
I could see it. I could see that.
My God, look at that. That is an excellent nightgown that she's wearing. That's actually amazing. Jesus Christ. I mean, I
Look
don't
at it.
I am just wondering if there was an actual necklace like that in a blue sapphire diamond with diamonds all around. I'm just wondering of how much that would cost nowadays. I'm willing to bet it would cost between 1.5 to $2 million.
Okay, so it's valued. So the one that was, let's see,
Was the one because the
$20
one in the
million
movie?
dollars. Gloria Stewart wore it at the 1998 or yeah, 1998 Academy Awards, and it's valued at 20 million.
Oh my! Are you serious?
I mean, yeah.
Goodness God! Ugh, just that line right there. He's like, "Open your heart to me, Rose." Like,
If
there's a
you weren't
reason.
such a dick, maybe she would.
There's a reason she wanted to commit suicide.
Like, if you could be like this, like looking at her like that all the time and being kind and soft, then sure, but like you're being a dick
Yeah.
majority of the
So
time.
another deleted scene that I want to explain is when Rose actually went down to third class for the first time to get Jack, and I think they should have kept that in the movie because I think it was only an extra 2.5 3 minutes.
Mhm.
But I get that they wanted to trim it down because again it was a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
But he looks so out of place up there in first class.
And yeah, he could care less. He's just like, "Whatever."
I'm not gonna lie. If I was actually a millionaire back then, I would probably wear that. I would not want to be one of those snobs. I would just want to be like one of those rebels.
Like, I'm all about comfort. I do it in my job. Like, I wear sweatshirts and vests and jeans and tennis shoes to work all the time. And I work at a school, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm comfortable and I'm relatable, and that's what matters." I don't try to get dressed up.
Yeah.
If I'm dressed up, it's because it's supposed to be a nice event and have no other choice.
So, the where they're at right now is actually in Mexico. They're actually at the
You would
I
have
love
gone straight to
I,
the bottom.
yeah, I would love that line. Like he's looking I mean, if the rock's that big, you're definitely going to sink.
Mhm.
But but no, so they filmed out in Mexico, which was
Don't you love how direct he is?
yeah, he's so
Do you
direct. He
love
doesn't
him?
he doesn't give a shit if it's awkward or not.
No.
She's so embarrassed.
She's so beside she's like, "Who's asking me this?" She likes it though. She likes that he's, like, just being so
So
direct and laughing about it.
right there when she said this is absurd, you could tell she actually kind of had her English accent right there. This is absurd.
Mhm.
She's being straightforward now too.
Yep, you deserved it.
Sounds like every relationship I've ever had with a woman.
This is my part of the ship. You leave.
No, it's like you are so annoying.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't think you
Yeah.
want to look in there because that's basically the 1912 version of Playboy.
Right. In a very great artistic sense. She
Well,
did a
yeah,
good
yeah,
job.
no, it's definitely more classier than Playboy. Well, I will say this about Playboy. They did have the photos in Playboy are very, very actually classy
Yeah,
for it being a pornographic
right.
magazine. God, and James Cameron, I think, did every single one of these drawings,
Can I
which is
say that hands are, like, one of the hardest things to hands and teeth are the 2, like, hardest things to draw when you're doing a portrait, and he did like, if that's James Cameron's abilities, like,
yeah.
he's an excellent, excellent artist for realism. Oh, man. These are drawn from real life? What's
she's
happening?
she's hiding them.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, that the one thing about that drawing that caught me was just the hairy pits. But again,
Mhm.
it's French girls.
Yes.
See, I can seriously admire just this artwork.
The
I mean,
artwork is great.
it's unbelievable of how James Cameron was. I'm still wondering what
One-legged
that.
a
I'm still
one-legged prostitute.
I am still wondering to this day what in the hell that means. Like, does it mean that she can put her leg behind her head or something?
Um, I guess there's one less leg to work around.
I'm just in awe because James Cameron and everybody who worked on this film, every actor and actress who worked on this film, they could not have picked better actors and actresses.
Mhm. I agree. I mean,
You wouldn't have jumped. She
I
looks
love it.
pissed right there.
He's like, "What the fuck?" That's the face I would have given him just because I'm just like, "Don't tell me." I hate it when people tell me what I would or wouldn't do. It's like a pet peeve of mine. Like, "You don't know me." It's my
Exactly.
initial vibe.
Every time every time that woman talks, like I don't that is the one character in the entire movie that they picked the perfect actress to do.
Mhm.
They really did. So another thing about this movie is that Tom Cruise, let's see, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt
Mhm.
were up for the part of Jack Dawson. And Tom Cruise actually said that he didn't want to do it because he didn't really want to do a disaster film. But Brad Pitt said that this movie will never succeed.
Wow. Just
And
like Brad Pitt didn't succeed in his marriages. Sorry. He really dropped the ball on being married to Jennifer Aniston, but I'm a huge Jennifer Aniston fan, so I get that he wanted to get with some Angelina Jolie, but man, you really left a gem behind on that one. Anyway, side note. I can't imagine. It's hard because when you have movies that are like this to this
This
caliber that
high
have been
because
like you
it
can't
was
imagine anybody else in that role. Like I cannot picture anybody doing as great as Kate Winslet did as Rose or as great as Jack did or Leo did as Jack. And just like this cast is filled with incredible actors and actresses.
yeah, and
I
so
can't envision anybody else, like even Brad Pitt in that role. Like I just would there have been the same level of like would it wouldn't have been the same. I love this scene, by the way.
one leg on each side.
My man and chewed and spit like a man. Get a girl.
So, Titanic cost $200 million to make, by the way.
Mhm.
And if you, I did, oh God.
Just
She looked,
knowing that they spent part of their money that they had to make this movie on a scene about them spinning loogies just makes my heart happy.
God,
And then her mom walks up and all of
that was
yeah,
like, I'm not
girl.
even gonna lie, that was actually not a bad loogie.
No, but this is right here
There's a spit that's rolling down his
on
chin.
his chin.
Oh God.
And Kathy Bates is like, "Son, what the hell?"
You better be charmed he saved your daughter's life. Kathy.
Kathy Bates is like, "Wipe your
Uh,
chin, son."
so anyway, so Titanic costs $200 million to make. If you actually add that for inflation now, this
Mhm.
movie would cost over $350 million to make, and they were over budgeted. By the way, they
Oh,
did,
I'm sure. I'm
but
sure.
they had a lot. So Paramount had a lot of. They did have a lot of faith because. Well, hold on, I gotta wait for this just because. You're about to go.
You're going in the snake pit.
Yeah, that's not gonna work in first class.
She's like, "Jesus, let's go." He
So
cleans up
this,
very nice. Look at him. Oh my
like,
gosh. So when I
seriously, come
told you
on, and
this is
he,
mm,
dude, you don't even need to put hair gel in. Just keep your hair the way it is.
yeah,
Look,
he
hey,
looks great.
okay. Oh my God, and that's another incredible shot of the ship. My God.
Mhm.
So,
The
oh, by the
sunset.
way, look at the camera lens right there. Did you see it?
Was it in the reflection?
It wasn't the reflection.
Oh, jeez.
I
I
think
don't think I've ever noticed that either.
that's the only movie mistake that I've ever noticed about this film. But getting back to what I was about to say. So here's the thing: I am straight, but for God's sakes, even I think that Leonardo DiCaprio is sexy as hell in this movie.
He's a good and I'm gay and I think he's sexy as hell. So, if that tells anybody anything, Leo DiCaprio earns every
So
sexy
basically,
part he's gotten.
that's the man that would turn you back.
I don't think he would turn me back, but I'd cuddle. Kate and I like to say we'd like, oh, I'd snuggle him if we'd snuggle, but that's about as far as it would go. But no, he looks real cute
He,
in this
and he
tux.
looks. My God, like, could you imagine the hair products that went into his hair right there?
How crispy do you think that is? Do you think it's greasy or do you think it's like
I want
crunchy?
to. I want to. No, you can tell. It's like taking. It's like wetting your hair and just putting it back.
That's what
Like,
that is?
I
You
think
don't think
so.
that if we touched his hair in this scene that
Oh,
we
I.
get either greasy ass hands or we just have
It's good.
like a just crunchy hair?
It's greasy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm laughing at Cal right there because the he moves so fast just to go shake and kiss a hand.
Oh, and the scene. Here we go. The way he looks at her in almost
Yeah,
every scene, you feel it, and I feel like their connection in this movie has really
Is
just, like,
incredible.
transcended even their friendship in real life, and how they're still very like, they just have so much love for one another, and you
Oh
can
yeah, I
tell.
mean, they've only done 2 movies together, but
Revolutionary
um,
Road and then this one.
mhm,
Is that really the only 2 they've ever done together?
yep.
Wow.
Him
Look at
putting
him.
his chin up. So
Yeah.
by the way, this movie was not the movie that really put Leonardo DiCaprio on the market. Um, Leo Mania back in the 90s, Leo Mania just
He
started.
had a movie he was in stuff before
He
this.
was, but it didn't really gain him. It didn't really garner a lot of attention to where he was basically a teen heartthrob.
Mhm.
The movie that really got him to be a teen heartthrob was Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, I've seen that one.
That
I saw that in
that's
junior high, actually.
that was a brilliant film, by the way.
Mhm.
That was it was such a well put together, um, just a well put together movie
Yeah.
to modernize Romeo and Juliet.
Mhm.
By the way, that's actually true right there. What she's saying about
It is.
Madeline Astor is that John Jacob Astor was 43 at the time. By the way, he was 43 when he was on the ship, and his um, Madeline Astor at the time I think was 21.
Mhm.
I think she was 21. Yeah, and he knocked her up. But I'm not gonna lie, ugh, dirty old man. Now this is how you know that you're a boss back then. You're escorting 2 women to dinner.
Yes. There you go.
His smile, it was, I don't know what it was, but just seeing his crow's feet on his
Yes.
face.
Chippewa Falls, Dawson's.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what that is. He's like, "Oh, yes." And it's just like, "You don't know what that is.
He has no
Not
fucking
a real
clue.
thing. Who knows?" I think what I like about this movie too is that they really incorporated obviously they're doing a movie with stories, but they incorporate real people from the
was that
Titanic and real stories from the Titanic into the movie.
was that Jello that waiter was just carrying? Was it like a gelatin? I could have sworn that wait. I didn't mean to like take away
Did
what you
Jello
said.
exist back then?
I have no idea. It looked like a huge mold of Jello.
I mean, I guess it
Some of
probably would.
some assistance to my fiance the other night, dude. Just say that he saved your life.
Right.
Jesus H. And
Otherwise, I mean, assistance could mean a lot of things to your fiance these days. He
yeah,
assisted my
that's a good
wife.
point.
And what? With what?
Oh
You
God, I wouldn't know
couldn't.
what the fuck to do right here. I'm sorry.
I've been told you work from the outside in. Like
I love though about one thing about this movie is the historical accuracy. Oh God, ugh,
caviar.
that's I'm sorry. That's
No,
just
I would
gross.
never.
Ugh. But she's a bitch, by the way. This character is Rose's mom. She's just actually, let me rephrase that. I don't normally say this word, but she is just an utter cunt towards Jack. Like she has that much. She hates him that much.
Well, and it's because she's so insecure with her own situation, which we'll come to hear again later in the movie. But she's so insecure with their situation and their
Hmm.
financial aspect, like that she's just like she's in complete defense mode.
Right there, right there.
Look at that.
Just like Kathy Bates is like, you fucking bitch.
Mhm.
My God,
And again, Jack keeps his cool.
he's doing really well under pressure. You have to give it to him. Because I feel like he is actually not just impressing, the audience that's watching this as they're watching his character develop, but he's also impressing everybody around him except for Cal and Rose's mom.
Mhm.
Everybody had a lighter back then. That's the thing. Yeah, I love this. I love my God, the glasses in this thing, the crystal that they used.
It's
Just
so
it
yeah.
is so fucking elegant. It's
It's
incredible.
very elegant. It's very nice.
Good Lord, look at those
Oh man,
oranges.
the quartet just gets me this entire movie.
Yeah, they did a really good job at doing the old time music.
Mm-hmm.
And Rose is just like, yeah, of course. I like how Lovejoy is just standing there, just like a bodyguard.
Right?
Okay, I'm sorry, but that was actually a little funny. I know it was a little misogynistic, but that was just a little funny.
Be like, I'd be like, why don't you want to stay with the women?
Yeah, like seriously, I want to stay with these women. These women are beautiful.
Right?
By the way, I just found out today that there were over 20,000 cigars brought onto the ship for the
Oh my god.
I mean, could you?
For the journey, which was only supposed to take how many days?
It was supposed to take
Wow.
6 days, but they were basically setting up for the next lot to go
Oh,
back over to Europe.
yeah. That makes sense.
Holy shit! I just saw that fucking ring that she had. God damn, that's a huge rock on her finger. Jack was right. She would sink to the bottom with that thing on her hand.
This scene right here.
Oh my god, yes. This is the transition from her being an outcast in the rich, and she
She's
expands her
embracing.
mind.
Yep.
And she just lets go and just has fun. Galette Storm, by the way, these guys that are performing, Galette Storm was a really I love Fabrizio. Is it okay if I put my hand here?
Yeah. Hey, good for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's polite.
It's good. It's good stuff. I just love how much
Now,
fun we're having here down.
There
Like
was
that's just like
there was a deleted scene with Cora and her family that I'm glad did not make the final cut, because it was actually about a 10-15 second I'm drunk. Give me another one.
Give me more. Give me more.
But so the deleted scene was during the sinking, Cora and her family are racing up and they're trapped when the water is rising, and they're trapped, and I guess it panned out before they drowned. But I was just like, I'm just glad that didn't make it into the final cut.
That's not necessary.
No, it's
like it's just I'm a huge sap, so I cry really easy at stuff. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times that I probably won't cry watching this movie.
I love the look that Cora's giving Rose. She's like, you stole my man.
Yep. And Rose is like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do?
Could you imagine, like, actually just I would rather be in third class than any class on Titanic,
It looks like a blast.
Yeah, these people they know how to have fun.
Yep. It's like letting loose. It's just not worrying about anything, right? Like, look how much fun she's having. Who knows when the last has she even like experienced anything like that before?
Oh hell no, not in that snobbish. Oh, could you imagine just how big the bruise is going to be on your leg for them spoons?
Oh yeah.
After I watched the movie, I tried to do that, and I was like, I can't do it.
Did you really?
I did.
I wish you would.
Look at him go. She's like, I can do it better. The look on Jack's face, he's like, okay, I see what you're doing.
You can one up me. That's fine.
The fact that she can dance so well in that dress, you got to give it to her. She just won the dance off.
God, it looks so fun.
And then it pans out to the most boring fucking place in the world.
Where they all think they're having a good time, but they're not.
Yeah, that's not a good. Okay, look, I love to go to the cigar lounge and hang out, but
Sure.
that's not a good time. I'm sorry.
It's just like, this is just where we're at. We're chilling.
That's actually Pepsi, by the way.
I mean, I can see that. It's very otherwise. She's like, Pepsi. Why? If Pepsi was smart for the Pepsi halftime show, they would show this scene and be like, Pepsi.
All right. So, right there, that was actually another movie mistake. They were supposed to have the glasses back further when they were doing the. Oh, I love this part just because she shows up every fucking guy in that entire room.
Yep. Let's go, Rose.
Did you see Jack's eyes just widen?
Yeah. Here we go. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's hurting me.
People can do that.
God, it's unbelievable.
Whose toes is his entire body weight?
That woman just saying Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, like everybody was so impressed. This is the reason why this is such
and he's
one
such
of my
a creeper. The way he comes down those stairs and looks around.
Oh God, yes. Like, but so the reason why I love this scene so much is, like I said, it's a transition for Rose's character. She finally meets somebody who actually understands her, and he knows her a lot better than the man that she's with. And what Jack has done is he's gotten her out of her comfort zone that she's known for so long, and he's finally gotten her to just relax and have fun.
Let loose.
Yeah, let loose, have fun.
Oh God, this scene pisses me the fuck off.
No, it absolutely infuriates me.
I can't stand him in this scene.
Well, that and when he slaps her, I didn't like that one bit. That's why Billy Zane didn't want to do this movie.
He didn't. He did not enjoy.
No, he was not a fan of it one bit, and he said that when it came time to actually slap Rose, he told her, he said, "Please stand at least a foot back. I do not want to accidentally hit you." That's Jack's doing right there. Rose finally got some balls.
Yep. My fiance.
Oh, get bent, you oh my God. Even his hairdo, it shows what a douchebag he is. Billy Zane actually is, he's actually got a shaved head now.
He does. He's bald.
Oh yeah. He is bald. Okay. I thought he actually got his head shaved off.
I mean,
real quickly. So this maid right here, she dies in this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually don't know it, but there's one more scene that she does near the end of the sinking, and it's just her sliding down.
Yep.
Oh God. See, now this is just really like actually letting the breath out of my chest watching that, because I don't know how women did that back then. I really don't.
It's like a thing, even when like I've helped my sister in some clothes before where it's had to be like tied in the back, and I've made jokes in the past. I'm like, should I be like Rose's mom and be a bitch about it? And like tie it really tight. I've done it recently because like these are some of those iconic scenes where like these moments in these movies stick in your brain because you do like. I couldn't imagine needing to like live in that corset. That's what they would do on a regular basis. These women would be in that. I'd feel suffocated.
No, I mean it. So there was Pirates of the Caribbean, the first movie, where what's her face? Oh God, what the hell was her name? You know who I'm talking about, right? Though.
It's Keira Knightley. Is that who you're
There we go. Keira Knightley. Yeah, she actually had to wear. She actually wore a corset, and she even said that she could not breathe. She could. It was hard for. She said it hurt for her to even take in a breath. And I don't know how women did it back then. I'm sorry. I got to give it to women back then. All women were awesome.
Yep.
By the way, Jason Barry is the actor that plays Tommy Ryan. And as I'm looking right here, he is actually from Dublin, Ireland.
I'm not
And
surprised.
the funny thing is that he's the only actor who got picked to play an Irish role who is actually from Ireland.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that you can, as soon as I heard his accent, I could actually tell that he was from Dublin. You can tell a lot. You can tell a lot.
Like you can hear, you can
Yeah,
hear.
you can. Dublin and Belfast accents are sound so alike. I'm actually taking a trip to Ireland here in 2 years.
That's exciting.
Oh, I can't fucking wait. It's going to be a blast. That dude in the back, he leaned forward. He's still leaning forward to sing.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
How did you get into first class? I love that. I love that right there. He's like, "Hello, Mr. Andrews," and Tom and the guy Thomas Andrews. He's like, "Hello, Jay." Like he's treating him like a person.
Oh, like a human, and that's why part of why I love his character so much in this movie is he is just like, cool, like you're a human being. All right, like.
So another deleted scene that was in this was showing Tommy and Fabrizio helping Jack get into. Oh wait, no, that was actually after this scene. Okay, so it didn't work with this one. No, Jesus Christ. I don't. Oh, dude, you're paying him with $20. Oh, I mean, that's what was suggested. So
just like they're really sitting there, like at church, like singing. You know, it's just like really, like don't.
Oh, it was $40 because he just split it up, so it was $40. Oh, fuck you, bitch. And she's actually got some good lungs. She's got a nice pair of lungs. She can sing. So Bernard Hill plays Captain Smith.
Captain Smith.
And he is actually known to play Theoden in The Lord of the Rings, and he was also in The Scorpion King.
He was.
He's another one of those actors who's a brilliant English actor. I love English actors. that right there where he licks his fingers just to put his hair back.
Yep.
Like you need to lick your fingers just to.
Hey, if it works, it works. Let's go.
Oh, so real quickly, I actually made a mistake, by the way, with that Mr. Brodine's character. It's actually Lewis Abernathy that played Paxton's like little cohort.
Okay.
Yeah. He was only known for Titanic. That's it. Like I said, I mean, it's kind of sad that there are. I don't really think there's many actors and actresses in this movie that are just known for this movie. But, you know, Lewis Abernathy, this was really the one film that he's just well known for.
Oh, man. This moment right here.
No, you don't. You don't love Cal.
You're no picnic.
You're a spoiled little brat, even. Smooth, Jack. Real smooth. This really does kind of break my heart because he's trying to explain himself. And right here.
I know.
Right there is it just shows the gigantic gap that society had back then. Like if you had $10 in your pocket and that was it that you had.
And he knew. I mean, he knew the difference.
No, he
knew. Like, that's why he's putting it out there. But like,
you got to give it up to him.
Like, you jump, I jump. Oh, that line in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, so I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't matter how many times I watch this movie, I just tear up. I tear up because it really is an emotional movie.
Mhm.
The first time I finally watched it through the whole way, I was bawling like a baby. And my mom actually came home at the time and she saw me crying and she's
How
like,
old
"What?
were you when you first saw this?
The
Do
whole
you remember?
thing?"
Do you remember?
I was 8. I was 8 when I actually
Okay.
watched the whole movie through, and I actually started it at the point where I ended it in the movie theaters.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go through basically 2 hours of movie I've already seen. I just wanted to
Right.
watch the rest of it. Ugh, just the so right here, look at this right here. You can tell that this is all green screen right there. They couldn't build that set that well. So what they did was instead of just building the whole dining room,
Mhm.
they just built one half, put it in front of a green
You can
screen,
tell, yeah,
and
you can tell the people in the background.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're oh, this part right here kind of annoys me. Right, right there. God,
Be
that
all
annoys me.
proper in the hand on the
Yeah. By the way, nobody was allowed there. By the way, right there at the front of the ship.
Mhm. But there's Jack and there's
Hmm.
Rose for one of the most iconic scenes in this
Yep.
entire movie. Ugh, this to me, this is like the moment though. Like this is a turning
Real
point.
quickly, I hate to make this joke, but that smile right there, I'm just imagining Beavis and Butthead. That smile is just, but in all hindsight, no, this is and the music. First of all, I need to talk about the music in this movie.
Mhm.
James Horner, God rest his soul, was perhaps one of the greatest composers of all time. Um, you could say John Williams is one of the greatest composers of all time as well, but it's
Mhm.
just, oh my god, just like listening to this music, it's incredible. And
Well, it makes you feel things, you
yeah,
know?
and it just this line right here.
Do you
You've only
trust
known
me?
him for 2 days and you trust him fully.
Yep.
Okay,
But
here's
do
your
you see the
chance,
way he
Jack.
looks at
Here's
her?
here's your chance, Jack. Throw her off the damn thing. Throw her off the boat.
This part gives me goosebumps. You know how you were saying
It
that the
really
scenes that
does.
gave you goosebumps? This is the scene that gives me goosebumps.
And there's another shot of no, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I mean, it's just the magic of this film is unbelievable. I mean, and right there, it doesn't matter that that was all CGI right there. That it still looks so real.
At the
Looks more.
at the Titanic exhibit that we went to in Vegas, Kate and I got a picture of us in front of a green screen that actually made this backdrop.
Oh no
So
shit.
we have a picture of us doing that.
Okay, Jack. Seriously, dude. This is your last chance. Throw her off and you will live. Maybe you'll be able to get on the door. Or just make out.
Ooh.
That's one of the I think this is one of the most romantic kisses in Hollywood.
It is. I
I
agree.
I mean it's incredible because first of all, you got to give them credit because they're actually balancing each other.
Mhm.
Like and this transition right here,
Oh, beautiful. Like in eerie and a weird
it is
like
so eerie. It
it's
really
eerie.
is. Like you honestly took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, another.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
That was the
love this.
last time the Titanic ever saw
Yeah,
daylight.
I love this line. That's the only F bomb that's dropped in the entire movie. Doesn't surprise me though. He's wearing a Texas. He's wearing a shirt that has the Texas flag and says home, so it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Mhm.
He's probably a Republican. So real quickly, another really interesting factoid about Rose's room. This stateroom was actually the Strausses. If you know this, do you know the story of the Strausses, by the way?
If you tell me it, it'll jog my memory.
So Isidore and Ida Strauss were actually the owners of Macy's department store.
Yes.
And so this whole stateroom, they got this was their stateroom. And the story goes is that Isidore was trying to put Ida on a lifeboat, and she's like, "No, where you go, I go. Don't try to argue with me." And of course, at that point, you're not going to argue with your 70-year-old wife.
Right.
There's no changing it. Oh, good Lord.
Look at that.
I mean, that thing is just like gleaming. Another one of the iconic lines. Draw me like your French girls.
Yep. And we're about to see, how did you refer to James Cameron's hands earlier? What did you
decrepit.
say? Decrepit. His decrepit hands. I'm going to have to argue that they probably don't look fully decrepit.
No, they don't. They don't fully decrepit.
But they don't look like Jack's 20-year-old hands.
This scene right here that we're about to see, this was the first scene that
they filmed.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet filmed together.
Yeah.
And the reason why they filmed it like this was James Cameron said, not just to break the ice. He wanted them to get comfortable. But I mean, like, seriously.
No wonder Jack looked at her like the way he did the entire rest of the movie. He saw her boobs.
He saw more than just her boobs.
Well, yeah.
Okay, this is
naked.
And real quickly. I'm sorry, but that's the it's the look. I think he was genuinely shocked. I think that was actually an actual reaction from Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he was utterly shocked.
Do you think well, I mean, I'm assuming he knew that's what was going to happen, but like maybe he wasn't.
By the way, for some reason, I just saw a couple pubes from
Oh, geez.
I don't know.
Oh, all right, we're going to see these decrepit hands. Hold on.
Kind of looks cold in that room for some reason.
Gee, what gives that away?
I don't know. Something's just pointing out.
All right.
Okay. They're not that.
Here's the decrepit hands he was talking about earlier, everybody. These old, decrepit hands. They don't look decrepit.
No, they don't look decrepit, but they definitely don't look young. They definitely do not look like Jack's hands.
No, I think
real quickly.
So here's my question: had you not known that fact, and you're looking at his hands right here, would you be like, "Those are Jack's hands"?
No, absolutely not. By the way, the music right here, just all piano. I just want to listen to this for a bit. Her just like smiling. That's why.
What would you do if you were laying naked on a couch having somebody draw you? I would 100% be laughing and smirking.
By the way, now you can see why I say it's cold. God.
Oh, I saw it a long time ago.
It's like, is it just me or is it like a projectile? It's like a projectile, miss. Okay, I need to stop. God. But
have you seen boobs before?
I have.
That's what they look like.
Well, I know that.
Well, I'm glad. That's good news. You're so funny.
Well, I mean, I'm trying not to be too inappropriate, at least.
I appreciate that, but yeah, no, that's
transition.
Now that transition was well done.
Yeah, no, that was,
and it also will be the really quick, like, are you turned on by this thing? Well, here's an old lady. everybody's face.
You know he has a hard on right now.
Gross.
No, he's asking that question.
Yeah. That guy in the back on the left behind.
Yeah, I
He
saw it.
reminds me of the guy on Seinfeld.
Oh,
What's his
George
name?
Costanza.
Yeah, that's what he reminds me of. Who he reminds me of. God, she's in love. She would
Yeah,
never.
she is.
She would never kiss Cal like that.
Oh, hell no. I don't think Porcupine would kiss him that way. Because he's that prickly. Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, this real quickly right there, that just shows you what kind of character Jack has, because he's putting away $1 million diamond into a safe. The safe is open, and there you see thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And for him not to take it, that just shows you what kind of character he really is.
I know.
Oh my God, another brilliant God.
You and your love for these.
I'm sorry. I just love the shots like that, because it just shows off of how amazing that ship really was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the creepiest thing of all, is that night there was no moon and the sea was more calm than ever.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, right there. I mean, but could you imagine just like sailing in an ocean and the sea is perfectly calm? I mean, that just spells danger.
Calm before the storm.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, pretty freaking much.
You know that he was going to retire before they like wanted him to actually sail.
He was going to retire after the sailing of Titanic.
Oh, I thought he was going to retire, and then they got him to agree to have his retirement go out with the like doing the initial Titanic thing, and so he agreed.
No, he was scheduled to retire. They made the announcement that he was going to be captain of Titanic, and then he said, this is going to be my final crossing.
Gotcha.
Dude, get your hand out of your pocket, okay? You don't need to shoot someone. First of all, I love that dress. That's one of the most elegant dresses in this entire movie.
This whole
sequence.
So fun. Have you ever like been feeling like you've been chased by somebody, you're trying to go, and like it feels like that? Like you're just like, go.
That's what her just flipping them off. She's just like, fuck you. Okay, they're down on E deck. He's on B deck, by the way. So there's no way in hell he gets down that quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old man. He can't run that fast.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, run.
Go. See, I'm the kind of person that I would just keep going and going.
Well, yeah,
going.
like why would you?
I wouldn't just stop and wait. Like I would just keep going anyways.
I think the reason why they stopped was they thought that they lost him. So
yeah, I guess. I mean, do you understand that I would just keep going until it was completely unnecessary?
Well, here's the thing: they wouldn't be able to stop because they would just keep looking. He would just keep looking. Oh, so this right here, the whole boiler room that you see there, I think they only built about 100 feet of this boiler room. So they had to just keep running. What they did was, when they wanted to make it look, oh, by the way, another thing right there where they were just entering that steam.
Yeah.
There was another deleted scene that they had where it was a highly romantic kiss, by the way. I really think that they should.
Where are all these deleted scenes kept?
So I have them on the Blu-ray, by the way.
I might need to get the Blu-ray. I think this is the DVD.
Oh, so you probably will have to change DVDs.
No, it's one DVD. Maybe it's a Blu-ray, but it's only one DVD.
I love that. She's going to go be poor with Jack, but yet she's still not losing her elegancy right there.
Nope.
Oh, that is so, okay. Seriously, if that doesn't turn anybody on, like where to miss to the stars.
To the stars. It's such a line. It's such a good line.
Could you imagine actually being in that coat? By the way, that coat looks so uncomfortable. By the way,
it looks way too hot for my.
Oh my god, it absolutely looks. It just, I'd probably just be sweating like a whore in church. I shouldn't have used that one. That's an old saying.
I've heard it plenty of times. It's just such a good scene. They did this really well, though.
They really they have such amazing chemistry. Like,
I kind of wish that they would have like actually been together in real life.
Do you know how comfortable you have to be with another actor for him to be able to put his hands on her?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you didn't see, she was sweating like hell. She was already sweating like hell.
Yep. And here's where things just like
start to go horribly wrong. So every time you see someone's breath like that, it's computer generated. Because they were in Mexico, they didn't have a lot of cold. There was a couple cold nights where you could see the breath, but because someone's about to have an orgasm.
Wait for it, and
there it is. I don't know whose hand that is, by the way.
I never really knew either, but
I'm willing to assume it was Rose's hand.
Would be that it was Rose, because if she's in her position with where her
and it was
with the thumb,
it was the right hand, by the way.
Yeah, so it had to have been Rose. Based off of their current situation.
Yeah, so there we go. But anyway, so yeah, all the breath that you see from a lot of these characters, what they did was they took somebody into a freezer, put a black hood over their face, and they basically read the lines. And so the line that you see of the breath that you see, that's how they got it in there.
Oh my gosh!
Like I thought that was genius.
How do people come up with this?
I don't know how people can. By the way, that right there is false. The flashlight was not invented at that point in time.
Oh.
So there's just a little bit of historical inaccuracy right there.
He's like, that's my phone. Now you can keep us both locked.
See, that's a huge fuck you.
Oh yeah. Now, how the rest of this movie pans out pisses me the fuck off in so many different ways.
It does. I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, like they wouldn't have heard you snap or seen the flashlight lights. Jesus.
And
yeah, this is where everything gets like, it sucks that their relationship finally got off,
like situated.
And then all of a sudden the ship just starts to sink. Like that's just horrible timing.
Everything about this was horrible timing.
That's why I trust it.
She trusted it too soon.
Oh, you fucking pervs. Dude, do your job. You're not supposed to be staring at people making out. You're supposed to be watching out for icebergs.
They are perverts.
So Frederick Fleet, by the way. Now, could you just imagine seeing that?
You're so fucking screwed.
Well, and the problem with that is that the problem with that is the turn rate on the ship sucked. Like the turn rate on the ship really sucks. So the entire moment that it took the ship to turn, Like it took 20 seconds, but
Jeez.
but yet it's taken a whole like 3 minutes for him to turn
Oh,
and
for
hit
sure.
it. Now just imagine just how hard you actually have to work in that engine room. Now right there it looks like there's a moon out. Come on.
Oh god, this is awful.
Again, this is actually my favorite piece that James Horner and the orchestra did on the soundtrack. I have the entire soundtrack on my phone. I love listening to that soundtrack. But it was incredible. Absolutely incredible just to listen to the score of this movie because oh my god, just looking at those propellers, it's incredible.
I just feel for like knowing that like they did everything they could and then they didn't.
Yeah, it was
They didn't make
well,
it.
well, here's the thing, it wouldn't have mattered if they would have just like dented against the iceberg. They were still screwed because the bulkheads for the Titanic they didn't
We're
go
faulty, right?
they didn't go higher than E deck, so they were fucked to begin with. Geez, your driver spent all that time turning, and you ain't gonna turn. Actually, they should have hit the berg head on. That would have actually, I think that would have actually, I think, saved. I think they actually would have made it instead of just. Yeah, you're fucked.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Good God, man! Stupid.
First of all, they would have like right here. Oh man,
the unsinkable ship is gonna go
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, pretty freaking much. I mean, it's
They tore the fucking side of the boat off.
well, yeah. I mean, that shot right there of the compartments filling up. I love that shot. What it was just a little miniature. It was a miniature. It was a miniature model, and what they did was they punctured it line by line and filled it up with water. But what they did was they just slowed it down at that point. Which I mean, like how much work had to go into this movie is absolutely incredible, and it's just it just every time I mention the factoids about it, it's just oh my god. Now this what kills me the most.
This is the anxiety.
Could you just imagine
moment of this entire movie?
Could you seriously imagine being one of those coal shovelers and just be like, we are FUCK capital fucked?
I mean, I guess you're only thinking that for however long until you fucking drown and die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shutting all this shit down and you're stuck in there and you're the ones making this boat go the entire time. Oh, for fuck's sake. I get you gotta do what you gotta do, but holy shit.
I mean, so real quickly, a part is coming up here where it gives me goosebumps. Just here we go.
All those guys that aren't getting through.
Oh my god, every time I hear that, like dun dun dun, by the way, they did that. What they did was, I think they pounded on a huge bell to get that sound. But it's like every time I hear that part in that score, it gives me goosebumps because it's what the music does in this. Like you said earlier, it makes you feel like you're there, like you feel the emotion of this movie.
Yep. Like I get like anxiety watching that scene. Like I get like the feelings of like,
oh my god, when he's just like crawling. Good lord. Yeah, the doors are closed, but we're fucked.
Yep.
So by the way, interesting little factoid about the lifeboats. There was supposed to be 36 lifeboats on Titanic. And Bruce Ismay thought that was way too much and that the deck would get cluttered.
Yep.
So he said, let's just do 20. That's the minimum. Now, right there, I would just be like, screw getting dressed. I don't care if I'm in my underwear.
Right?
I'm going up to the deck.
Get me off this boat. I wouldn't worry, madam. Just go relax. Take a nap. Who the fuck are you?
Exactly.
You're about to get a much more animated Michaela coming up with the rest of what's happening in this stupid ass movie.
Okay, first of all,
the fucking rats are like, we're fucking out of here, and everybody else is like, follow those rats.
Yeah, pretty much.
First world problems.
Fuck you.
I've been robbed. Your fucking ship is sinking, you dumbass.
Well, they don't know at that
Well,
point,
you know
actually.
what? Don't care.
Still fuck him.
Jack knows.
Oh,
Jack's
and right
like,
there, first of all, you're still ship may be sinking, but Jack does not forget to be a gentleman, holding the door open for her.
mm-hmm.
No
See?
shit. Even though I hate them,
Right?
I think they're very good, sir. Well, you would. Oh my god. He's also an asshole.
Oh, for sure. And then he fucking slips that shit in his pocket. What a
god
fucking
damn
dick.
it. By the way, my favorite line in the entire movie is coming up, and it comes from Jack. And I just laugh every time he says it. Such a douchebag.
Yep. I like how they know exactly what
and look at Jack. He's pissed. He knows it. Here it is.
Yep.
I love that line. I actually said that. I said that when I was 8 years old. My mom smacked me across the head.
You're like, but I watched Titanic and Jack said it.
I mean, and I can't remember for the love of me remember why I said it, but all I know is that my mom smacked me real nice and hard across the head. Okay, I actually like I like that line right there. He's like, "Oh, we have an honest thief," even though he's a douchebag. Okay, first of all, right there, Jack, you should know you need to save yourself, because if she ain't gonna stick up for you, seriously, like, why the hell wouldn't you say something? Now I know. Now I know why Jack dies, because you're selfish. You wouldn't even share the door with him.
She would not share the door. We'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
it's so unfortunate. 4 compartments, but not 5. And
so,
5
but again, it wouldn't have made a difference if 4 filled up. They were still going to get 5 compartments filled up. The pumps, yeah, the pumps aren't going to do you any good. You can pump out as much water, but there's still going to be water flooding into that ship.
That guy right there is a fucking stupid ass douche.
Well, yeah, J. Bruce Ismay was highly criticized after the sinking, because he told Captain Smith to keep going faster, even though he knew that there was icebergs in the waters.
Yep. Then he sneaks on a fucking boat.
Oh yeah, and he never let it live. I think Ismay died, I think 20 years after the sinking, but they said that he never ever lived it down.
Yeah.
I think he started going under after the sinking, which, serves him right.
Right? You're gonna get your headlines. We're gonna fucking sink and all die.
Okay, so is the movie still going for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Oh god, I hate this fucking part. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Eat shit and die.
Yep.
God.
God, calling her that.
So he rehearsed this with Kate about 10 times because he wanted to make sure that they got it right. But he also, when he grabbed her, he told her, he's like, if I hurt you, please tell me. He was worried.
Yep.
Which I love Billy Zane. He was so concerned. Like, even though he's playing a douchebag, he was so concerned the entire movie.
Yep. He knew what he had to do, and he didn't want to.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
he did it well. But he
really did it well. Actually, the funny thing is that Bill Paxton was originally supposed to be Cal. Bill Paxton was originally supposed to be Cal, but they said he looked too old at the part, so
they gave him.
Yeah, they gave him Brock. He didn't mind, actually. He said he did not mind. He didn't mind being really a supporting actor in this film. Yeah, blimey. Yeah, you're
blimey. You better send out the SOS, homie.
So right here, this is actually another historical accuracy that James Cameron did is what in the first little bits where the ship was sinking, so much steam was getting released that it was just pouring out of the smokestacks. And I guess the pressure finally relieved after about 20 minutes. And so, yeah. Too damn cold and noisy for
them. Oh God, you're gonna fucking die, you dumbass.
Exactly. Oh, another green screen right here. There you see it right there. And again, like you said, credit to the orchestra.
Yep. Such a good part of this movie. Like
Careful drinks. First of all, I would take that drink right there just because of.
I'd be like,
what's dude? He got scared of Kathy and he stepped on the step twice. Oh God, can you please
give
die?
Me a cup of tea, please. As this sink is shipping. It's sinking. The ship is shipping.
The ship is shipping.
The ship is shipping.
First of all, if I was Molly Brown and she was in my lifeboat, I'd just fucking toss her off.
Why?
Because she's a bitch.
Molly Brown?
No.
You mean Rose's mom?
Yeah. I was saying if I was Molly Brown, I would have tossed Ruth off.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was like, you're gonna toss Molly Brown off? Damn.
Oh hell no! I'm not gonna throw the cool woman off.
Okay, I was like, damn, why throw her off? She's the one that's gonna keep that lifeboat lively.
So another one of my favorite parts in this movie is coming up in about, I think, 15-20 minutes, where Rose spits in Cal's face. I love that part. So originally, that part right there, when she spits in his face, originally she was actually supposed to punch him. And
so was that completely like improv, right?
So it was not improv. What happened is that Kate came up to James Cameron, and she said, "Remember how Jack taught Rose how to spit? How about if Rose just spits in his face?"
There you go. So it kind of gives like it brings it full circle.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna learn lessons, you might as well put them to good use.
Exactly.
First of all, the gun that Lovejoy is using is a Colt 45 1911. I actually own one. Great pistol, by the way. Great little 45 pistol. But at that time, those guns were not issued to anybody except military. So I'm trying to figure out how he got one.
Well, he was a police officer, so
police officers didn't get him back then. They got 6 shooters.
It makes you wonder, though, if he ever. I mean, I guess he wouldn't continue to have one if he was in the military, but
I mean, that's a good point.
That guy right there, for some reason, like that dude's face, good call.
Yeah.
Captain Smith.
Another moment in the movie, which is going to come in about, I want to say, probably 40 minutes.
This entire, like, the sinking of the Titanic, the fact that they made this as long as they made it, which was important because it was a very long process.
So I think the sinking of the ship, the time that Titanic actually
Hit.
spent on the screen is actually 2 hours and 40 minutes,
Mhm.
which is actually the same time it took
It took
Titanic to
for the
sink.
sink. Yep.
Yeah. Dude, you are just like a can of you are like a can of fish and sardines down there. Like,
Mhm.
that is unreal.
Look at that.
And then right here is another example of treating
Third class. Yeah.
treating third class passengers like dirt, just like locking them up.
Basically, like, you guys get to die.
Pretty much. She had to imitate that voice, by the way. That, I know her from somewhere. She's done another role before. I don't know her name, but she's actually done another role,
Mm.
and I cannot for the love of God remember it. And by the way, the water there that you see, so you dumb shits. How do you get that? How do you get that disorganized?
Because they didn't think they were gonna ever have to do it. They didn't
God.
practice
And
this
they were
shit.
and they were actually supposed to have a lifeboat drill on April 14th. They were supposed to have a lifeboat drill, and they canceled it.
Because they're dumbasses.
Oh, well, at least
Look at these
she's gonna.
kids. They're like, ooh, pretty fireworks.
Yeah, too bad this ship is fucking sinking.
Oh my god. Look at it at that point.
Now this is an eerie pan.
Yeah. And freaking Jack just
The
being
look
like,
on his
this
face.
sucks ass.
Yeah, right. First of all, why would you? I think that's messed up of how they're actually going to arrest him and just like handcuff him to a pole and not give him a chance.
This guy. Look at it.
So another deleted scene
Look,
that
I believe this ship may sink. Really, fucking Captain Obvious? Look at the water where it's at this
oh
fucking
god,
window, you dumbass. Good
I
God.
love this version of Michaela better than the first half of the movie.
Well, it gets to the point where I start getting really fucking pissed off about how things happen. The first half of the movie is just like really just like, okay, this is like good historical stuff, learning. Like, this is the parts that just irk my. I just get irked.
There you go. It's about damn time you told her to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Good God. Oh, fuck you.
The better half.
He is such a dick. I'm sorry. That is the most dick line ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now you figure it out, Rose. Yeah, well, you
You
should have
tell
stuck
him.
up. You should have stuck up for Jack. You would have been up on that boat deck. You would have been. You probably would have gotten off the ship a lot faster.
Her mom looks like a. I always thought her hat looked like. It's like, what's on top of it? What is that? Is that like a pilgrim thing? What's happening?
It looks like a belt buckle. It really does. Now she's worried about her daughter. Love that line.
Yes. I'd rather be a whore than your wife. You tell him. Good God, this man is.
Yes, there we
Yes.
go.
The fact that like, what he.
So, when she's
Rose,
oh
Rose.
God, this
He's like, oh,
he's like, I'm fucked.
I'm
No,
surprised the
because
pressure hasn't cracked that window yet, to be honest.
it's not deep enough actually. But oh, now, oh my God. So when she spat in his face, She spat to the left of his head,
Can I
and she
just
actually
say, like, beautiful mold work in this, like, in that
they did
corridor?
a really good job with the mold work.
The
Yeah, they
molding
really
is
did.
beautiful. Anyways, continue.
So when she spat, she actually spat to the left of him. She spat on a board that they actually held up.
Yep.
And what Billy Zane actually wiped off was just basically just like gloopy water.
To be honest, though, it looked like
It looked legit.
actual
Yeah, it
shit.
did.
I love that he helps her to know where he's at. Like, I love that he helps, like,
Oh, it
give
could
her
be
the
bad, huh?
direction.
It just got worse.
Yep. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That would be me. I'd be like, "Oh, shit. Oh, shit."
First of all, like I don't know how. Oh, this is an awesome part. I'm through being polite.
Yes. You
I mean,
tell him.
now be honest with me. If this was you and you're trying everything you possibly can to
Mhm.
get free, I mean, like you're just in all panic mode.
Yeah.
And he kind of stayed calm a little bit. He really did. The look on his face was he did kind of stay calm while he was trying to escape.
Because if you start to freak out, your
Yeah,
body will start to
you can't
swell, though. Like, if
yeah,
you're
you
trying
can't
to get out of
you
stuff,
won't be
like,
able to think.
I think about it's a stupid ass analogy, but when you can't get a ring off of your finger and it feels stuck, like the more you freak out and the more you pull at it, the more your body's gonna like start like having a response and not do what you need it to do.
Exactly.
Think about it also like when you're in a rush and you're trying to do a bunch of shit, you start dropping things and it takes you longer than if you were just to like remain calm in the situation and just like take your time. I think that that's like this is a prime example of one of those situations where like if I freak out, it's not going to help me. Like
Yeah.
stay in the
So
right frame of mind.
she had a tough time moving around in the water with that dress on, by the way.
Yes. Mhm. Make out with him.
You should have stood up for him in the beginning. For God's sakes.
They still would have arrested his ass and fucking
Oh,
handcuffed him down there.
I don't think so. I don't think so. She
You
stood
don't
up
think
for him.
so? If she stood
I
up,
don't think so.
I don't know. I think the good man, the good boys club, he would have ended up down there or shot.
Mm.
With how what's his face was being, I don't know. You tell him. Okay, great moment. Let's go.
Yeah. Like, hello, we're still sinking. Can you please keep looking? Oh my god, that shot right there is so eerie.
It's
Good
it just
lord.
it gives you the heebie-jeebies a little bit.
It really does. It really does start. Like when I first saw that in the movies, I started panicking a little bit because I was just like, okay, this is definitely the sign that they're. Quit fucking! Don't kiss him. Just go.
I mean,
This is the dumbest line, by the way, in the movie.
I'll just wait here.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do? What the fuck else can you
I mean,
do?
we all need a little, like, let's be honest. When we're watching this movie, you need a little bit of comic relief, and that gives you just a little baby hint of like, I'll just wait here. It's just like,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
definitely. I agree.
It was a perfect moment to just give us something, just something of like, that's pretty funny because he's not going anywhere. When a GoPro didn't exist, but it existed.
I thought I was the only one to make that observation.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah, that guy is not helping you. I'm sorry. Okay, so the most eeriest. This right here scared the shit out of me. By the way, as a kid. Oh my god! Oh dear God!
And just the ring comes like the ring girl comes
Yeah, the
walking down the
rumbling.
hallway. Or The Grudge.
Like, oh my God.
When she says, hello, it reminds me of Navi in The Legend of Zelda, for anybody that plays those games.
Oh my God. Yes, it
Hello?
does.
Hello. And this guy just is a
Yeah, this guy
fucking
is not
dumbass.
helping worth a shit.
And he like pushes her. Oh no, she punches him. And then he's like, fuck this. You made me bleed.
Like, in some of these scenes, when you actually look at the hallways, by the way, you can actually see that they redid the shots because of how wet the floor is. There are some shots in this movie where you will actually see, you'll see the floor and it's soaking wet, and they just couldn't dry it well enough, so they just did the shot.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's scary as fuck.
It is. And then when things start like the electricity
Yeah,
is
the
like,
electric.
you're
Yeah, the
gonna
electric.
go in that water and the electricity's, you want to get fucking zapped. Just wade into that water. Good God.
Exactly. Oh my God. And just think about this. The water that night was 28 degrees. And this reaction that you're about to see is a real reaction that she had.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jeez. Now I'm just saying this. Now those nipples really are going to be projectiles. I'm surprised
we're not going to see them.
No, the bra's keeping them in.
She's such a badass, though. Like,
she really is. Like, look at this. Like,
the thing that kind of peeves me a little bit, though, is that she went through all of this. She went through all of this being this kind of badass, and she couldn't make fucking room for him on the door after you did all of this.
Oh my God, yes.
That's what
I love how Jack was just like waiting like that.
The psychological impact.
She hit his hand, by the way.
What?
If you when you watch her swing, watch her. So just wait for it real quickly, and go ahead and try a practice swing.
Hit it again.
Yeah, same mark.
Totally different spot.
She wasn't even looking.
He's like, okay, you're ready. Let's go.
Do you see how her lips are purpling up?
Yeah.
She was actually getting hypothermia.
Good God.
Like, could you, like, because everybody who did the camera work, they had wetsuits on. They were the only ones not. Yep. Now watch, really quick. Watch the axe. Watch it carefully.
Okay.
She hit his hand. Did you see it?
I mean, I watched carefully. I don't know if I saw it the way you saw it. Maybe it was so fast. I can't watch it again.
No. I'm saying, like, after this commentary, watch it very closely.
Like slow-mo it or something.
Well, no. Just watch his left hand.
Okay.
Like when you watch it, and you will see that the axe hit his hand, but it was again, it was a rubber axe. So and those handcuffs were they did that take once. They said they were only going to do it once. That right there, that shot right there. Think about this. You are in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Nobody is around. Like, well, the closest ship, the closest ship was, I think 10 miles. The closest ship was 5 miles away. Actually, there was another ship that was closer to the Titanic that night, but their radio operator had went to bed, and they also saw the rockets. But because they were white and they weren't the color of that they originally had, they just assumed that they were firing off fireworks. And Captain Stanley Lord of the Californian, that's what it was. He said he regretted every bit of it for the rest of his life.
I can only imagine.
I mean, do you know how bad he must have felt for the rest of his life?
You tell him. Shut up.
Exactly. So the deleted scene that I was also talking about that I think should have been put in the movie So when Rose and Jack reunite after she jumped back on the ship, they were running down the stairwell, and when Cal says that I left the diamond in the pocket of the jacket, he told Lovejoy, he's like, I'll give it to you if you can get it. And there was actually a fight scene in that movie, and
I thought that they still had that in there, didn't they?
They did not. They
Is there a scene of Lovejoy like shooting bullets at them down the stairs though?
No. That's Cal that actually shoots at them.
Oh, that's right. Oh, good God. Okay.
But again, I think it was a 7-minute 7-minute deleted scene. It was the longest deleted scene in the entire out of the 45 deleted scenes. And Jesus Christ, this is just ridiculous. You only have one shot in that thing.
Good God.
Like, seriously, you're going to that lengths to keep him away?
Like, just let people at least get to the top to have a chance, you dumb fucks. Like, give them a chance.
Right there, that guy is just, he's both regretting locking them, and he's just like, I'm only following orders.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I really think that Tommy is the better supporting role than Fabrizio a little bit. And I kind of hate to say that, because Fabrizio is Jack's best friend, so I hate to say that,
but it's the way that they casted them in, you know.
Yeah,
I agree.
pretty much. Oh, I just thought of this. So since Rose also had the diamond, does that mean she also had the thousands of dollars?
No, because remember, she was wearing the jacket that was given, like that Cal gave to her, and he had put
but he put the money in the pockets.
Oh, then yeah,
so she had
probably.
So she had a little over. I think she had a little over $1,000.
Well, then she would.
Oh my God! Look at that hair, by the way. Look, that is greasy hair, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't blame Jack one bit for getting this pissed off.
That would be me.
I mean, seriously, like, wouldn't you get that pissed off?
It takes a lot for me to get that pissed off, but yes, I would get that.
I mean, that's where you just lose it.
I'm a type 9. They call me the Hulk. Like, I can maintain my cool, but when I fucking lose it, I lose it. And it's like some crazy shit. So yes, that would be me. Because Jack's been patient through.
Oh no, he has been so patient. And
oh my gosh, is Jack a type 9 Enneagram? Oh my gosh, it probably is.
By the way, I am jealous as hell that you got a kicking lesson from KJ Wright the other night.
That made my birthday. I can't
even. I'm willing to bet. I wish I could have gone to that, because I would have loved to have met with KJ and try to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's just like, he's the kindest person. Like, he's everything I thought he would be, but he's even better. Like, he's just so kind.
Oh, I bet. I mean, now this right here is false. They did not have that many guns on the ship. But I mean,
he's like, I don't even have this loaded.
It's not even loaded. He pointed an unloaded gun to them.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't blame these people, because I mean, like, oh Jesus, I just noticed that guy just jumped. He jumped and just he grabbed that rope really well. Holy shit.
You get rope burn.
Oof. Now this is scary as hell. Like, you can't tell the people. So this actually did happen. That lifeboat almost got crushed, but they were able to stop it in time.
It's just like, this is a shit show. Like, it's like, it's at the point where it's just like, this is a fucking shit show.
And are we only like 20 minutes into the sinking? I think we're only like 20 minutes into the sinking.
Let's see.
We're at the 2 hour and 14-minute mark right now.
Yeah. My controller turned off. I'm watching this on my Xbox, so you know.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're right there at the 213, 214.
The boats are not all gone, by the way. They did not release. So I think the last boat was released, I think about 40 minutes. Or no, the
And
guy just
this moment here, it's been lovely, and then they're like,
oh no, that's a little bit later.
oh yeah, I
But
guess.
no, that guy bumped into one of the violinists and he screwed him up. now I'm in first class. Or now I know I'm in first class. Jeez. You are a dick.
He's so awful.
Oh my god, like because
That
Billy's
guy's like, I can't handle this shit. This
Billy
is so dumb.
Zane was on a podcast I think 5 or 6 years ago, and he even said that every time he watches the movie he actually hates himself because of just how bad the villain that he played.
Yeah.
But he said it was the greatest. He said it was the greatest cinematic moment of his life to actually play in such a historic movie like that. Which
I
which
like
it
that
should
he can acknowledge that too, like that he can like take that away for himself, because if it wasn't as popular and as like a historical moment in cinematic history as it was, I wonder how he would feel about having played this role if it didn't get to the caliber that it did. Like having to step
Yeah.
into a role
So
that he didn't necessarily feel 100% confident in terms of like how he had to act and what role he had to play.
yeah. So the one movie that I really thought was a really good cinematic movie, and it wasn't because it was because of the plot in that really got to me. I don't know if
Mhm.
you ever seen it, American History X.
I have not seen that.
Okay, so real quickly, Ed Norton is in it, I believe.
Mhm.
It's an amazing movie, by the way. So what it is, and it's a little when I first
This
watched it.
douchebag getting on this lifeboat. Sorry. Anyways, continue.
So yeah, Edward Norton stars as a white supremacist who he murders a couple African Americans who were stealing his truck. But the story goes along to show him in prison how he made changes, how
Mhm.
he saw that everybody is equal. It's
Mhm.
not just the superior race. And that's the big thing about that. Again, I was really uncomfortable when I first watched it,
Yeah.
but then I watched it another time and then I'm like, okay, I see the plot point. And I see that this man can make changes in his life and he knew what he's been doing for most of his life is wrong. And it proves
Right.
that everybody can change their life.
Mhm.
But again, it was definitely a hard movie to watch. It's not for the faint of heart. I'll say that.
It's gonna probably challenge a lot of people in different ways that it's not comfortable.
Well, especially
Yeah.
nowadays, because by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but it was raining just a second ago. I don't
Was
know if
it?
you, yeah, you didn't see the raindrops coming down.
I should have.
Oh my
Here
god!
we
So
go. This is the moment in this
this is the
movie.
moment that okay, I'm gonna have to really try to hold it together because this is the first scene that honestly just tears me up because this is the dedication that someone makes when someone truly loves one another.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that look right there, or actually, it wasn't that look. Oh, fuck you. So you can see their breath right now. It was actually that cold that
Yeah.
night. Um, there's a couple times if you watch it, definitely get the Blu-ray, by the way, definitely get the collector's series. But if you watch the special features, they're actually wearing jackets. It actually got cold there in Mexico.
Yeah. I always win, Jack. Just like that, like, okay, but you didn't. Like, you
Hmm.
don't. Like, you've lost.
Yeah,
You
and
lost. You lost. You
you
lost.
lost to the Richard douchebag.
And the fact that he tries to just maintain his composure in that moment and Rose is looking at him like, I'm trying to believe that this is true, but like there's something in her that gives it away that she's just like, no, I can't. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't, I'm going, like, I'm leaving you. Like, this is the last time I'm, like, she knows if she just
Now the
continues
face
to,
that right here,
that one.
that face that he just made, he knows right then and there
Yep.
he will never see her again.
And
It
she
breaks
knows
it
that he
absolutely
knows.
breaks my heart.
Like, she could see it on his face. Yes,
Ugh.
girl. I get like, I don't know, like it's hard. My frustration that comes with the scene of them in the water is that she literally sacrificed so much to try, like
She was
she,
sacrificing her life just to stay with him.
and then in the end, you couldn't fucking move over. What the fuck? Just move over. Like she didn't even try that hard. She tried so much harder just to have a couple more. However, you're so stupid.
Yep.
Nate. You're so stupid,
Okay,
Rose.
I'm honestly like tearing up slightly. Like I can't help it.
It's okay.
It's just like this, like for people who don't understand something real quickly, guys can be very sensitive. I like this is and it has nothing to do with sensitivity. The reason why I just bawl my eyes out at this movie is this movie will tug at your heartstring
Yep.
for everything that those two went through.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, here's the scene.
Eat shit and die. Now, see, I told you he was the one that was shooting.
Yes, you did, which I should have remembered, but I think I got.
He fell down, went bonk.
What a fucking asshole he is.
Like that's like you lose your girl, so that's what you're gonna do is you're willing to.
But see, and this is the thing though, like this is like a cultural, like I feel like a thing of not even cultural, just like the like you leave me and this is what I'm allowed to do. Like this is how I'm allowed to react and how I'm allowed to respond. It's like, no, homie, like just suck it up and
Yeah.
move
So
on.
real quickly, technically they're out in open water, so what he's doing is technically not illegal.
Oh.
Like I hate to say that, but
But
like,
still, right? Like
the look on his face, he doesn't realize that he's in the water.
he's like, what happened? How did I get here?
But yeah, so
He's
I'll
like,
send you.
now he's realizing
Yeah,
that
now he
she's wearing the
realizes that
jacket,
he
and
lost
he's
the
like,
diamond.
yep.
So real quickly, let's see where. Okay, so is this the deleted scene, by the way? So do you see how Jack's hair is just like soaking wet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, that's why I wish that they would have shown it because, here I'll actually send you. I'm sending you the link actually in a DM.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can watch it a little bit later. Like I said,
Sure.
it's the best. I think it's the best deleted scene. So it was actually a little over 4 minutes.
Okay.
But it was still the longest deleted scene of the movie. That's always hard to watch.
This
Is
scene. Ugh.
that kid just like why is that kid there?
He's just standing. Yeah, just like, what the hell?
See right there, you know, you're like they.
And this guy's not even grateful. You stupid fuck. Get out of here.
I think that was Slovakian, by the way, what he was talking.
Still, but like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Be grateful, and then you fucking that happens.
Well, yeah. You're fucking dead. So, at this point in the movie, like when they're running down the hallway, and also when they are, about to drown, like both Leo and Kate, they were getting anxiety attacks.
I bet.
But James was telling them, like, do not worry, I'm not going to let you drown. But they were still scared.
I would be.
Well,
I would
no, because
be scared.
No, I would be terrified because the water's rushing up on you. Like because
look, our brains are not like our brains are still going to respond as if this is a real life situation.
Exactly.
Our brains no matter whether you're told you will be safe or not, in a situation like this, your brain is telling you you need to survive somehow
Oh,
or
by
you
the
will
way,
die.
what look at the floors, by the way, in the hallways that they're about to see. Pay very close attention to them.
Okay.
Not right here. So here it comes. Do you see how wet they are?
They're already really wet. Yeah.
See, I told you. Okay,
Come on,
first of
man.
all, the fact that he's being an asshole, like he was willing to, like, dude. And first of all, you don't need to panic. You have plenty of time.
Again, the fight or flight, like the
Yeah,
under
yeah.
pressure, our brains are interesting things that everybody's responds so differently in situations.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
He's like, and I'm out.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you be?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
I
also
think
one of those
I would.
people that I'm like a huge empath, so I'm also like it
Well,
would
I
be
think
really
I would
hard for me to
stay.
leave other people behind.
I would stay and try to help them.
Like I would like to believe that that's what I would do in that situation, and it's so hard to like legit know how you would manage that, like when you're in a situation like that. But I would like to believe that the part of me that likes to make sure I'm like helping people as much as I can, that I would not leave somebody behind.
Exactly. So, all the flashing lights here. I'm surprised someone did not have a seizure in the theater.
I was just about to say, like, they better put a seizure warning if people were going
Because
to
real
the
quickly,
theaters.
funny thing. So there is a banned episode of Pokemon from the original season. I don't know if you know this, but there's a banned episode where Porygon made an appearance, and I've actually watched the entire episode. But there was a moment where it was blinding red and blue lights. It was flashing so much. And at the time in Japan, when they showed it, I think 72 people got seizures from it.
Oh my gosh.
And the funny thing is that, I watched it. Well, I mean, I watched it and I was fine. But, I mean, that's a perfectly reasonable excuse to actually ban an episode.
Yeah.
And when they when that incident happened, they even banned it in Japan. Now that's something. Now be truthfully honest. You have to do some really royally fucked up shit to actually have an episode banned in Japan.
Yeah. But if it's actually causing those kinds of responses from people, I mean, it's just like, but yeah, I agree. Like seeing the lights in this movie and seeing how they were flashing like that would be. Then this,
Oh,
see this,
see right there.
oh,
That is the
like
most slimiest thing you could ever do.
I would respect him if he's like, oh, this girl needs a lifeboat, I need to get her on one. But then the way he like takes advantage of that fact pisses me the fuck off.
No, I don't blame you one bit. It made me so infuriating when he did that. First of all, credit to him for throwing back the money, but
And then
not
he
so much
takes his own
credit
life.
for shooting someone.
Well, but he ends up taking his own life in this situation.
That's right there. I hate that Tommy. Like when Tommy first died, I about shat myself in the theaters. I was so upset because I didn't want him to die. Now, when the family of Murdoch here actually watched the film, they criticized James Cameron because it was not historically accurate that he committed suicide. But honestly, that's the only thing that James Cameron regrets about the movie is the way that turned out.
Yeah. But it shows also in this respect, it shows the stress that everybody, like the mental emotional stress of the circumstance, because you fucking liar,
get bent.
you piece of shit.
Get bent. God, what kills me is that the mother is actually there in the boat. And I'm just like, you were in the boat the whole time and you didn't go back for your child?
Ugh.
No, I'm with you 100%. That absolutely pissed me
That
off.
Mr. Andrews
That
right
he
here is
that
just like he's like, no, I'm gonna go down with the ship. Like
he
this
actually
is
did go down with the ship because he was from the accounts of that night, he was in utter shock
yep.
that. And by the way, do you see the drink there on the right by the clock?
Oh yeah.
And so real quickly, that's none of that. That's not real liquids in there. It's actually just gel.
Oh, for
It,
sure.
yeah, it's
Because
hard. It's hardened
also
gel.
that glass at this point with the angle at which this boat is apparently at,
It would
with
have
how
tipped
they're
over.
walking uphill, like that would have slid off.
Well, they did slide one of them off, but But what they did was they did the most cheapest thing in the world, and they tied just a little. They tied fishing line to it and just pulled it off.
Oh yeah.
Now that's one thing that I appreciate about Benjamin Guggenheim. Um, was that he was with his assistant at the time, and they both decided to go down as gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Where should you go? You should have gotten to a boat earlier, unless she was trapped underneath. So there's so many accounts of what happened to Edward Smith, of
Yeah.
what happened to Captain Smith, and nobody can officially say what happened to him. But
Mm-hmm.
from what I've seen in this movie, this is I want to say this is probably what he did, because he was just like Thomas Andrews. He was so
Yeah.
in utter
Tied.
disbelief.
Yeah.
And here we
Here's
go.
the scene I was thinking of earlier.
Oh, the near my God to thee.
And
All
he
of
just
those.
keeps playing and then they all come back.
Yep. And then every member of that orchestra that night died. But they
Yep.
were actually I think awarded one of the basically like the Medal of Honor in Britain, I think
Mm-hmm.
it was. And all five of them were awarded the medal, basically the Medal of Honor. They got one of the highest awards anybody could
Mm-hmm.
ever get because of their bravery and their selflessness that night. I can't get over that big old that bass dude with the handlebar mustache.
Yes.
It's like looking at Raleigh Fingers pitch, or it's like Raleigh Fingers turned into a jazz musician.
Good God. Like, look at this. Like, you just know what's going to happen.
And
And you're just like,
there's the string.
yep.
He cares that much enough to just like fix the clock.
You know
He
what? What
wants
else would you do if you're standing in front
he
of that
wants to
fireplace and you're like, is this like, this is the time? And this right here,
that just
this
sucked.
right here.
And that was Isadora and Ida Strauss at
Yep.
the time. They also had a deleted scene as well. This part broke my heart right there.
Mm-hmm.
They can't survive, so they're gonna go back to their cabin and they're just gonna sleep.
Yep.
God, that's the amount of heartbreak that you see in just the sequence of the near my God to thee moment is
Yep.
unbelievable, because both the couple, the Strausses going down with the ship, and then the mother with her two kids, it's absolutely just the most.
Yeah. It
It's,
shows
it's
love. It shows love in the weirdest, most purest form of like for the Strausses, it's like we're going down, and this is like they knew what was happening, and they were dying. Like they're going down together. Like this is how this ends.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
for the mother with the children may or may not have like fully realized, but if they were as calm as they were, that mom like gave them enough
she did a
comfort,
damn good job as a mother. That was the best mother ever.
yeah, to at least be able to rest their eyes in this moment. And so, yeah, it's, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's gut wrenching to think about.
I think the hardest part is like watching this movie, like getting to this point where you start to see this impact of how it's sinking and going down, and realizing like this is a true, like this is a something that happened.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like, this is not this is although there's Hollywood parts to this movie and they're displaying it in a
by
Hollywood
the
way,
way,
that
his
guy's
look,
eyeballs.
the look on his face, he's just like, oh fuck, what did I just do?
But realizing that people experienced this, I think it was my
Mm-hmm.
third great uncle that was on the Titanic, like a triple
Oh
great
wow.
uncle or grandfather. It was one of the two. And you know, my grandma's super into genealogy, so she's done all the research, and it's just weird to think about, like, there's connections, right? It's like this
That's
6
so
degrees of
eerie looking at that.
right here, this
So
scene.
right here, what he did was he had an oxygen tank with him. They told him to. So what he did was he actually had like a portable oxygen tank, and what he
Wow.
did was he actually just basically started breathing. And I think it took a minute for him to actually get out of there.
Oh my god.
Like that, like, is that just a little bit terrifying? Now this is God,
That's
you're
terrifying because I'll tell you something, when we went to Maui for our honeymoon this summer and we went snorkeling, it was the first time I've ever snorkeled. Even just putting my face in the water and, like, believing that I could breathe through this, like, mouthpiece and to have air, like, I lifted my head up for the first, I don't know how many minutes, like, to take a breath of air, but I was like, "Oh, wait, I can technically breathe underwater." So, like,
yeah.
oxygen, a minute under, like, it's hard. Mentally, it's hard because your brain's telling you, like, "You can't breathe under here." Like, don't
Good Lord, the way it just started going down so quickly. Actually,
it was
what?
a really fast like, it was fast. It
So
happened fast.
when it took the bow when the bow fully got surfaced when it took the water, I think, an hour, almost. I think it actually took almost 2 hours for it to actually fully go down, and then once the bow went down, it just went quickly.
Mhm.
Now, this part right here where the staircase is about to get destroyed,
Yep.
um, you'll see like if you ever, whenever you get the Blu-ray, they're they actually so when they destroy it, when the water's rushing in, there was parts of that set that fell apart and fell onto several of the extras on there. So that's terrifying to even think
Oh,
about
yeah.
because you don't know if it's going to crush you or not. God, you're a dick, Cal.
He's such a such an
Like the fact that that James Cameron allowed him to survive makes me very angry at him. Like that's the only reason to be angry at James Cameron
I
is he
mean
let.
I
Oh,
mean,
and
yeah.
there goes Fabrizio.
We love you,
Oh,
RIP.
like just think
But
about
here's
this.
my
That
question, though. Ho like, if I was in the situation and I wasn't getting on a lifeboat, do you really wanna suffer? Like, how do you wanna go out? Like, do you want it to be fast or do you wanna fucking drown in the ice?
so
Like, it's like that's, like, for me, uh, I don't know. How much hope do you have at some point?
So first of all, that plan of staying on the ship as long as possible, that was not smart at all. Just jump off and go swim to a lifeboat.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that would have been my strategy. So this scene right here. So remember when I told you about the bulkheads when the water was coming in
Yeah.
on the iceberg? It was the same thing what they did there. They just had a little miniature and they just flooded it.
Well, and just knowing too, like, right here, like, for instance, like,
Okay,
dude, if you
so
went to the other end of the boat a long ass time ago and, like, just you could have just waded into the water. You didn't even have to jump that far. Like,
here's the
and then
thing.
the whole suction thing of when it goes down.
Everybody jumping right there, they actually had to pick a spot because the water wasn't that deep. So they actually had to be very
Yeah.
careful about how they jumped. But also, think about real quickly when people were actually jumping off this ship on the stern when it was raising, they would have died instantly with those life vests on because it would have
It
probably
would have the
broken.
force of it trying to yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, also, it wouldn't have mattered if you had a life vest on or not. A fall from that height, kiss a goodbye.
A fall from that height plus the ice cold water of which you're like falling. I don't know. Your body's not
I don't think.
meant to
Yeah, I don't think your
sustain
body
that
could
kind
take
of
it.
like shock and impact at the same time.
Oh God, that just sucks right there. It'll all be over soon. That's one of the worst. I think that's one of the worst
Yeah.
lines ever.
And then this guy
So
praying over all of them.
so that was I think the pastor there, and it was. Oh yeah, great time to bring that up. This is where we first met, and I'm just like, okay,
Where I
thank you.
almost committed suicide.
Yeah, like you should have just jumped off to begin with.
She didn't know that.
No, she didn't know that.
She didn't know that.
Another creepy
She
scene coming in.
survives though, so it's fine because she survives because she didn't make enough room for Jack.
That is
That's the creepy.
absolutely.
This is one of the like that's creepier to me than the doll at the beginning, the baby
So real
face doll
quickly,
at the beginning.
watch the floor real quickly. Oh damn it! It didn't show it. Okay, so there was actually there's actually a part where they're actually. I think it's coming up here where you'll actually be able to see the stage, basically the floor
Mhm.
the floor scene actually come up. You'll actually be able to see it come up. Here it is. Here. Nope. Okay, I guess it wasn't there. I thought it was.
It'll come sooner than
And
later.
there's Trudy.
Bye, Judy.
And the last thing we see is her undies. That's the way to go out.
I see London. I see France.
I see Tracy's underpants.
Tracy, Trudy, Judy,
Or
Hootie.
Trudy.
What's her name? Fruity Trudy?
It's Trudy. Okay, you're dead. You are just dead.
See, I can appreciate your realistic. That dude, that dude died before he hit the water.
I'm
Good
sorry.
God.
Look, I know it's that was just like the funniest thing I saw in the whole movie. It's just that dude he hit the propeller for crap's sake.
The best thing you could do in this situation if you knew you're going down is drink yourself to sleep and never wake up. Sounds awful.
Another one of Ken Marshall's paintings right there. So from what they've said, the ship did not raise up that high.
That's what I've heard that it.
So it raised up about. These are the real heroes of the sinking, by the way. Those men, not one of those engineers survived, but they kept the lights going as long as possible.
Yep.
Oh, so this scene right here, where you're seeing it. Oh, so and here's there's Lovejoy, by the way. See how bloody he is?
Yeah.
That's from the fight.
So that's interesting because the deleted scene that they took out, they didn't necessarily help how.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad way to go. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this ship breaking up right here, what you're seeing right there was a model, was a 37-foot model.
And all those people that just got smashed.
Oh my God. That is one hell of a way to go. I'm sorry. But so the model that they made, they did I think 5 takes. They basically patched up the model, broke it in half 5 times, but the first take that they had, they're like, that's what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine this. When the ship actually did break in two, can you imagine the tidal wave that comes over to those lifeboats?
Oh, God.
Like, good Lord.
You got to get out of the way. Like, that's why they're like, you got to row faster. You got to get out of this area.
It wouldn't have mattered. That wave's coming for you no matter what. Now, this is an interesting part of the movie is...
Yeah.
So...
when it's going straight up.
Yeah, when they're going straight up, they're actually...
climbing on the back.
They're on a 40-foot, just like part of the stern.
Yeah.
And they did the whole movie. They did that part of the movie in the green screen.
Yep.
That guy just hanging off the pole. Why would you be like, why wouldn't you? Good Lord.
Well,
good.
Everybody that drops is hitting all sorts of things like a pinball machine going down. I mean, look at that.
Well, I mean, technically they're hitting rubber, but
and
this guy hits. That guy hit
This guy right here. Oh God. Good God.
Is it cruel that we are laughing at people dying?
It's only because that's how we're trying to help ourselves from not experiencing trauma secondhand, okay?
First of all, that chick didn't fall. She let go. She let go of the
Her
railing.
poor hands couldn't hold on any longer. Look at all those people.
And think about this. Could you imagine? So when that ship finally sunk, there was over 1,000 people in the water screaming.
Yep.
And think about this. Think about you being in a lifeboat and all you hear for 15 minutes are screams getting quieter and quieter.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't
have
really
nightmares tonight. Oh my God. I'm gonna be like having dreams of being in a lifeboat and just.
Well, here's the thing. I've seen some stuff in my life. Like nothing's really scarred me. But if I had to go through that and listen to over 1,000 people like freeze to death and slowly get quieter, I'm sorry, that would haunt me for life.
I would have some, yeah.
Well, good news. You haven't gotten up once yet.
I have not. I'm gonna make it through this entire movie.
Can you actually believe that? Like the first podcast that we're doing, and first of all, Michaela, you've been an awesome first co-host for this first episode.
Well, thank you.
And I'm glad that you could actually do this with me, because that's eerie right there to watch the Titanic like just slip.
Yep. And then them right here in this moment, like
he told you to hang on to her hand.
He's trying to do everything to hold on, and then boom, goodbye.
Now, I don't understand how he didn't drown, by the way. That's just me. I don't understand it because
he's Jack fucking Dawson, okay?
So he can survive that, but he can't survive being.
Yeah, because you know what? She should have fucking made some room.
Oh, by the way, keep your eyes on Rose real quickly when it pans up to all the people. See if you can keep your eyes on her the whole time.
Okay,
here it is.
I'm working on it.
I got her.
I
still got her.
I got her.
And there we go. I got her through the whole. Now, right there, that scene right there.
There's
over 1,000 people in the water.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black at night. And I hate this part.
That fucking douchebag.
Well, he got what he deserved. Jack's gonna fucking punch him.
As he should.
How did he find her, by the way? Well, he's Jack fucking Dawson.
Because he's Jack fucking Dawson.
He punched him 3 times.
And she couldn't make room for him on a door.
She really couldn't make room for him on the door. Okay, let's recap this. He saves your ass from committing suicide. He saves your ass from slipping off the ship. Then he saves your ass by unlocking the door. Then he saves your ass from drowning by punching out a guy by punching a dude 3 times.
He gave you an orgasm. You didn't even mention that part. Good God, you left out the most important part. For fuck's sake, man. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay, here's the part that pisses me the fuck off the most.
Oh,
she had room on that door, and if you guys would have just tried a little fucking harder, you could have found the balance here.
Michaela, you just said the best thing on this entire podcast.
Well, you better hope people stayed on to listen to it, because I'm telling you right now.
Orgasm.
I'm sure she gave him one too, but you know what?
It's her that matters. But okay, so let's review it. He saves her from committing suicide, saves her from falling off the ship, gives her an orgasm, saves her from drowning, saves him from drowning again, and then she still couldn't make room on that door. She could not move her fat ass out of the way. Hey. So, another thing that they did, does his hair look just like frozen?
Yeah.
So when they were all like frozen and everything, what they did was, I think that from what I've understood, they sprayed like crystallized gel and when it gets wet, it just like it basically crystallizes, so it looks like ice.
Yeah. See, this is where Kathy Bates for me is just like, God, I fucking love her so much in this movie, just as a person in life. But like, and I get that this is a written script, but the fact that she's like, good God, turn back, like, and everybody's like, they will swarm, like, just like her compassion. Ugh. You tell them.
Yeah, like she was a pioneer
That's
back then.
your fucking people. That is your
Yeah.
husbands. That is your men. I'll
Oh,
shut your
fuck
hole in
you.
your face, you
I
fucking
was gonna
dick.
say the same. How about this? Instead of throwing Ruth off the boat, how about you throw him overboard? Throw his
Ugh.
fucking ass overboard. Little shit stain. Oh, so this
Don't
is too
worry, you
much.
don't need to plug your ears anymore because they all quieted themselves, you dumb bitch.
Oh, so there was another deleted scene right here. I'm telling you a lot of things about the deleted
I'm
scenes.
learning a lot, to be honest. So I
So
appreciate everything you're sharing.
once again, there were no flashlights back then.
Mhm.
So that's just the only really historical inaccuracy. So there was a deleted scene right here where there was a man dressed up as a woman, and the officer got really pissed off, and he didn't want him to help. So that was one of the few deleted scenes at that point.
Mm.
The longest that you would survive in this water was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But so the guy that you saw drinking, by the way, the guy in all white,
Mhm.
he was actually a real person. He was the chef on the ship, and during the sinking, he was drinking for most of the night.
Good for
He was
him.
able he was able
Just
to
kidding.
he survived the sinking. He survived he survived 2 hours in the water, which is incredible.
It's because his body didn't recognize that it was so cold?
I think so, yeah.
I've heard some horror stories about people who have actually had too much to drink and not realized that they were experiencing hyperthermia because their body, like, their brain thought that they were warm from drinking alcohol, and then they actually, like, had not a great outcome from that. But I'm interested to hear if that's something that actually helped him stay alive longer.
This is a little upsetting to me because Jack right here, he realizes right now. I
Mhm.
think when he's telling her all of this, he realizes that he is not going to survive.
Yeah.
But he's doing everything he possibly can to keep her sanity. He's doing everything that he can to keep her sane. And he's doing everything he can to tell her, you're not going to ever give up. You're going to live.
Yep.
But the fact that he says, winning that ticket was the best thing that ever happened to me, that broke my
Mhm.
heart. Because that was one of the worst parts about him dying in this film.
Is
Is
that
that
he might not have had to have been on the ship,
not if he lost that card game?
but then this whole movie wouldn't have actually been what it was.
Right. It would have been over right there.
Like, it's like, alright, so Jack didn't get on the boat, Rose never met him, he stayed with this fucking asshole and they both died. Or she just got on a
actually,
lifeboat and then he
actually,
died.
well, yeah, she would have got on the lifeboat and he would have died.
Yeah,
So that would have been a kind of a better ending, a little bit.
I guess.
But she would have still been
Ah,
miserable
this
in a.
fucking line, "I will never let go, Jack."
Oh yeah, that
See, okay,
crushes me.
mm, that's what I'm Jack stays in his right mind this entire time, and when I say right mind, I just mean, like, he
He
was
doesn't lose it.
fully there, he didn't like, w even when I get overly tired, sometimes I say things that I don't remember I said, okay? But, like, and it's not necessarily me in my quote, like, right mind. Jack, that whole time, even no matter how cold he got or exhausted his body, how it wanted to shut, like, he stayed in this headspace of, like, being nothing but what Rose needed him to be for her to survive.
Exactly, and he's Oh my God,
Creepy F, by the way.
yeah, that is so creepy.
Okay, what do you think on a rating, like 1 to 3? What's the creepiest to you? That doll at the beginning of the movie, that one scene of that body floating in the water as the ship went down, or that like scene of the blue eyes staring at you? That was like
It's still the doll. I'm sorry, the White Walker
the
right there in the
doll.
water. That
Yeah,
was a White Walker, by the way.
the White Walker. Oh
By the way,
God,
that was actually kind of creepy to see that guy's face full of frost. That is terrifying right there.
that's sad. That's sad.
That's both terrifying and honestly sad.
I like this guy. Keep checking him. Like, let's fucking try to find somebody. Good God.
I'm probably gonna be bawling my eyes out here in a second.
It's okay. I
Oh my
support you. I like seeing the soft side of people. I'm an emotional person. I've seen this movie so many times that I like have no.
It doesn't
more
matter. Like I
tears left.
said, it doesn't matter how many times I watch this. I cry every time because it really is sad.
I cry every time watching Lion King.
I don't blame you on that one bit.
Mufasa dies and then Simba's just. Anyways.
Okay, real quickly. So I love the animated Lion King. The remake of Lion King, the live action one, sucked. I will say this: never, ever, 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 ever cast Beyonce in another movie.
What?
I'm sorry. She was awful.
Here's what I'm gonna say, and this is something that Kate and I both have agreed with, is that with the live action movies of Disney animated films, you do genuinely have to think about them as different movies than the animated. Like, even if there's like enough similarities to make you be like, yes, this was Aladdin, or yes, this is Lion King, or yes, this is whatever other movie.
I didn't mind the Aladdin remake.
You have to think about it as like, this is technically not the exact same story. There's going to be differences.
Okay, stop saying his name, Rose. He's fucking dead.
Let him go. You said you wouldn't, but you gotta.
Oh, God.
This is the moment she realizes right here.
Yep, right there.
Like, oh,
her
no.
face.
Oh no.
If you would have just
you didn't invite him up on your door enough, honey.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't move your fucking fat ass.
It is sad how she says it, though. I'll admit.
It really is. Like it's.
You're like,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Again, I know people are gonna make fun of me for crying, but it's fucking it's so fucking terribly sad. Okay, it's fucking sad, and it breaks my heart.
The music doesn't help.
No, it fucking doesn't, and that doesn't help either.
That just makes this movie better, though, because it makes you feel like it makes you like.
I mean,
even though I'm mad at her for not moving over, like, this moment makes you feel things, and that's what good movies do. That's what
excellent movies make you do.
Yeah.
Her saying that is just, she has no strength.
Yeah.
And real quickly, I want to note about the water.
Yeah.
First of all, an ocean would not be that calm.
Yeah.
And real quickly, the Chinese guy that I said right there, he's right there.
Right there in that, like,
yeah, he's right there when the flashlight went right past him.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm just like wiping my eyes right now.
It's okay. Oh God, that snap of just like.
Did you hear that? It sounds like his hand is made of a rock.
Yeah. Ugh.
That sucks. You're not even gonna let him. You're not even gonna bring him back to Chippewa Falls. You're just gonna let him plunge 2.5 miles below.
She's like, let me get to this whistle. I'm happy for her because let's be honest though. Let's like if Jack sacrificed his life to try to help her survive, like
she's not gonna stop living. By the way, if this ship sank now, she would not take the whistle because of COVID.
Oh shit! I would take the whistle. I would just risk it. Like I'm like either way, I'm gonna die. Like either way, I have a potential of dying. And
I'm vaccinated.
I'm
vaccinated, so I'm gonna live.
Hopefully. hopefully, yeah, that's the goal, right? So, like, I would risk blowing the whistle
She's a
because
White
one of
Walker
them,
too.
I mean, she's
In a
looked like
sense.
she's looked that white the whole time.
Mm-hmm. She needs
Okay,
to go to
here she
Florida
is.
and get a tan.
I think she probably does at some point in her life through this.
I think so. Now, when it pans to everyone listening, and they're just, I mean, oh,
Mhm. Just one.
like
Just
look
one
at the,
lifeboat came back.
and that's true. Look, and even him,
Yep.
he says he was even tearing up when he read the script. I still can't get over that pirate earring. I'm sorry.
They did him dirty with that part.
They they
They
did do
didn't
him dirty.
help.
Why the hell
This
couldn't
is
he have a normal
this is
earring?
a movie about a boat sinking, and you give him a pirate.
He should have been in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Maybe he was, and we never knew.
Who knows?
You know that Glenn Close was in Hook as a
I did
pirate,
know
as one
that.
of the male pirates? I did not know that till this year. And then I was like, that was Glenn Close?
Now look, okay, first of all, Cal's an asshole right there. He was glaring at that guy, but he still takes the stupid flask.
You know what? Cal is a selfish prick.
He's a cunt. I'm sorry. I'm using that word for him. So now,
Can I
here
just
comes.
tell you something that my wife just said under her breath because she's now sitting next to me?
What's
She
that?
said
Oh,
she said he's not good enough to be a cunt.
so this one right here, where you see that lifeboat rowing.
Yeah.
First of all, that was another one of Ken Marshall's paintings. But when you see that lifeboat rowing, that was the only scene that they shot a lifeboat out at sea.
Mm.
And then there was another deleted scene right here where he's looking for Rose for a little bit longer
Yep.
period of time. And he thought that he saw her with another person. Oh, any of your people. I like how he said your people.
Mm-hmm. Because that's how it was.
First of all, that woman right there with that hat, that she looked like she was in first class. A feather on her hat.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the sign of a
Maybe,
so,
but maybe she found it in the water. Sorry. Never mind. Good God. Okay. Who am I turning into? Anyways. I love this scene right here just because
you're turning into your wife.
You know what? She's pretty amazing. So if that's the case,
I gotta have a beer with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Or, excuse me, let me rephrase that. I gotta have a beer with you gals.
There you go. Kate will have a cider. I'll have a beer.
Now, see, right there, I'm actually a little bit happy that he committed suicide. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
A piece of shit like that, I'm glad that he committed suicide. He doesn't get an honorable death. He gets the coward's way out.
Oh my God. I just like that she was just like, nope, I'm not she's standing by, and the fact that right here, Rose Dawson.
That's identity theft.
I don't even fucking care. You use his last name. He literally sacrificed his life because you didn't make room for him on the door. He literally he wanted you to live, and you've lived now till you're like
100,
super old, and I would go by that name too.
Not even your grandfather. So this is the first time. So basically, this is the first time she's ever telling her story. She's gone 84 years without telling one soul that she survived the sinking of the Titanic and she met her real first true love on that one. Mm. But I mean, I don't think she would tell it to the grandfather. I mean, would you?
Why not? Why not? I would. No, and honestly, it's just about the reality of this is what I've been through. And if you can't tell your spouse or your partner the realities of the things that you've gone through mentally, emotionally, spiritually, for some people, physically, how do you have a genuine connection and relationship with that person? That's I would 100% share that.
Another scene right there where you saw the submarines coming up. That was actually filmed at sea. So this was also what you're seeing right here. This was also part of that alternate ending scene. I'll send you that. I'll send you that because
Yeah,
I don't think
please do.
you've seen the alternate ending.
I don't think I've ever seen the alternate ending.
Like I said, I think the alternate ending to Titanic was I don't think I think they made the right decision in not making it the ending because they did it well. By the way, in the alternate ending,
here we go.
yeah. First of all, nice cherry red toes, by the way.
I think I've thought to myself a few times we should cut our toenails, but maybe that's not the right thing to say.
But anyway, so Louis Abernathy, he was wearing his shirt in the alternate ending, and it had a cross out sign, and in the sign it said whining. So it's basically said no whining. I love, and I'm just like, I want to get that shirt.
This scene when like the first time you see this and like you realize she's had it this entire time. Like,
oh my
even though
God.
even though she grabbed it out of her jacket in that last scene when she realized that that was what was in her pocket of the jacket.
The first time I ever saw this part, when I saw her climbing on there, I really thought she was going to jump up. Yeah, I thought she was going to jump. But then when she revealed that she had that fucking diamond, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here.
You're like, are you
serious?
And she does right here, this moment. Because you don't realize actually until this point. I forgot that she doesn't realize, like, we didn't know that she had it that whole time.
And first of all, like, remember when the ship sank and they're struggling underwater?
Yeah.
How did that stay in her pocket?
That's literally what Kate just under her breath said. All the things, the side comments I wish you could hear that Kate's been saying this whole time, of her comments are probably better than mine. So next time we do this together for a movie, we might all need to be mic'd up.
I think so.
She's more entertaining than I am, I think, most of the time. So,
and Rose
I'm
is dead.
Entertaining.
Rose is dead.
She is.
I love that.
This is what reminds me of like a Notebook moment of like,
I love that photo of Kate right there. That was so a really great photo. Look at her.
All of these are awesome photos. I hope that Kate Winslet has these photos in her house.
Look at this. She learned how to ride like a man.
Ride like a man and spit like a man.
I hope she was chewing tobacco when she learned how to ride like a man.
Chew tobacco like a man.
And here comes the other scene that I'm just like,
this scene. Oh, this is the part that hits me.
I thought this was when I first saw the ending, I was just like, he was
waiting.
Oh God, now I'm starting to tear up. He was waiting for her
the whole time.
84 fucking years. Even though she didn't move her fat ass over, he still loves her.
This is the most beautifully written, like they could not have made a better ending, in my opinion, to how this really just wrapped up this movie. It is
the transition right there where it goes from the wreck to
back to like what it was.
Mm-hmm. And then there's almost everybody who has died.
Chills. Everybody, they're all there. Oh. And there he is.
Most of them are third class, by the way.
Yep. Hold up. That's not. That's not Cal in the top right, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. Kind of looked like it for a second.
First of all, I love how oh my God. I'm seriously just tearing up right now. Oh my God. He waited for her for 84 years.
Mm-hmm.
But so they said that was the first shot that they ever did at the Grand Staircase. They did the ending before they did any other scenes.
But you think that has to set it up with what you shared? Oh, and that's the end.
All right, go ahead and pause it, and let's go ahead and turn the cameras back on because we can.
Oh, then there's the wrap-up music of the Celine Dion version of it. You want me to pause it now? Are you kidding?
Well, why not?
Okay.
So
No.
we are 3 hours and 9 minutes into this. So again, I just got finished wiping my eyes because again, that was the scene that just always makes you tear up. But no, the thing about this movie is that everyone needs to watch this. It doesn't matter who you are. This is a movie that needs to be seen because it is, to me, it's the greatest. It's the greatest movie ever made because um, it's a story about love. It's a story about tragedy. It's a story about a person making the jump from one society to another, and it's about one man getting the woman that he loves to just fall deeply in love with her. Again, I just cannot say enough how much I love this film, and I love the fact that this was the first film that I got to do for this podcast. And I mean, Michaela, just your thoughts on Titanic.
I think I've seen this movie so many times, and it's an impactful movie every time, and you notice something different and you realize how it um connects to even the world that we're in now in different ways, but it's just so beautifully made. And getting to listen to all the facts that you shared and all the things that you know, like it just elevated this movie on a different level. And I need to share that with you. Like for me, like because I've seen this movie so many times, I know the script, right? Like I know the lines that are going to be coming. But when you get to learn more in depth about number one, either whether it's the actors and actresses or how they decided to film something, or the true historical moments that happened with the Titanic, it just, like, deepens your appreciation for the movie that James Cameron made, and,
Definitely.
so thank you for sharing what you know too, 'cause it was a completely different experience getting to watch this movie and listening to all the facts that you know about it, and I know that I got a lot more animated in the second half there, just
I
because
love
I
the
get
fact that you got
passionate.
animated.
I get
Well, yeah,
passionate
no,
about
I
it.
love the fact that you got like into it because that just tells you just how much you love the movie. But again, next time
Yeah.
we do a film together, we commentate a movie together. Definitely, Kate's got to make an appearance. She's got to. She's
She does.
just the just the way you looked over. She's just like, yeah, you
She's,
do.
like, just right down the couch there. So, yeah, she would be great for so many movies. I can't even like, the number of movies she's had me watch that I'm like, "What the f" that would be so entertaining on this. God, from, like I can't even think about which movie the pirate movie? If we're talking about this pirate earring that you were bothered by this whole movie, have you seen the pirate movie? What a weird fucking movie. And if you
So
haven't seen it, you should blind watch it into a podcast of that movie.
definitely. So real quickly before we end this podcast, so I wanted to also talk about the Rotten Tomatoes rating that it got. So we got 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was a very low score.
Yeah.
It should have been in the high 90s. I did find this very funny though. It got an audience rating of 69. I don't know how the audience thought it was a 69. But
Like, that's just disrespectful.
well, here's the thing. I figured that an audience like a 69 audience review would be for like the Jackass movies because that would fit that so perfectly. But
I'm genuinely surprised for the number for that surprises me.
it really does. All right, so that is going to do it for this first episode of BS Commentaries. Michaela, I thank you so much for joining me doing this podcast with me. I appreciate the hell out of you for taking 3 hours out of your life just to do this podcast with me.
Here I am. It was a lot of fun. I love watching this movie. I also had the subtitles on so I could like make sure I knew every line that was happening. And when you read the subtitles while you're watching the movie, it's also like, oh, so that's the actual line. Like, I don't know, you just get it on a different level. But thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Whenever I do another movie together, like I said, Kate's invited.
Yes.
All right, well, you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time whenever we do a movie together.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good night.